Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
Yep. Ross at, like, does it still give you kind of like the ick just to walk in there?
Yes.
It does.
Yes.
Madison,
what
Wisconsin is as good as it gets.
It's all about the Badgers. Well, the building that haunts me the most is one that's no longer in existence. That would be Texas
Games
Stadium.
like this is what really separates college football from everything.
Maybe the two worst losses of my career happened in that stadium. Number one, the last game in that stadium, which was against the Baltimore Ravens in 2008. Roughshod over us. It was a Ron McClain show. Kept hitting his head on the goalpost. But then also the playoff game in January of 2008 against the New York Giants.
The best college sports town in the world.
They beat us in the divisional round.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Maybe the two worst losses of my career.
Wow. Well, speaking of Texas and going there this weekend, Philadelphia Eagles, the defending champs, are doing that. Eagles and the Cowboys coming up on Sunday. This is obviously a huge game. The 82 Eagles at the 4-5.
So nice. The Badgers have done it twice this season. For the second time, Wisconsin fans are storming the field as we take a look and see on Big Ten Network a huge 27-10 victory on Senior Day, a second-ranked win again for this Wisconsin Badger team, and the energy is absolutely electric. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us on what is going to be a late but a fun night. I'm Pablo Iglesias, live from the Everlight Solar Studio, alongside Riley Yauk, and man, oh man, Riley, the Wisconsin Badgers have done it on hit, and we're going to talk about it all here on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that the Badgers are officially back, folks. Come on. That was just a thorough beatdown of the 21st ranked team in the land. This team, for the entirety of the Luke Fickell era, has been searching for an identity. And thank you, Corey Sparks, for sharing this with me. It was mentioned on the broadcast. This team has found an identity under Luke Fickell, and that identity is violence.
Tough, nasty,
they just
and dependable.
Bring it. Illinois came into this game, oh, they're the physical team. Oh, look out. They just wear on you. Then their only losses are, they had a bad loss to Washington, but they've got beat by Indiana, Ohio State. Every team that's below them, they just beat them up. They just crush them. And what did Wisconsin do? They were violent. Altmaier was killed back there. Daryl Peterson had the game of his life on Senior Day. Christian Allegro, Deani Hill, Charlie Jarvis, for crying out loud, smoked the punter. Darion Dupree on both of his touchdown runs. The stiff arm, lower in the shoulder. Tretch Kekahuna on third down runs. Illinois came into this game billed as the physical team, and Wisconsin beat the absolute hell out of them today.
You love to see it. And I mentioned this too, Riley, on the jump around when we had Evan Cohen. I wanted to point out three things. Of course, it's Senior Day. It's the last game that everybody gets to ball out for in front of this Camp Randall crowd. But something, too, that I really felt like from my side, I know the fans obviously don't play the game. They're not the reason why you win in terms of how you play on the field, but they brought the energy. And the last time Bret Bielema was in this building, He put this whole program in disarray. And now Luke Fickell is 2-0 against Bret Bielema because of how they were on the road. Take that. How about that for hashtag karma?
Which is just insane. And maybe you lit a fire under Fickell this week after comparing him in his press conference
That's right.
to Bret Bielema. But you bring up that loss in 2022. And Mertzi talked about this on the pregame show. Like, that sent Wisconsin into a tailspin. Like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? I remember hearing reports of Illinois, like, really celebrating that win for Bret Bielema. Led to Paul Chryst getting fired. And now look at where we're at. in a season that looked like it was going to be the worst in 3 decades for the University of Wisconsin. I hedged against Washington, saying this could be a turning point for the Badgers. I will go all in today. This is the turning point for the Wisconsin Badgers in the Luke Fickell era. They just demolished a very talented, well-coached team in Illinois, and that was not a fluke. Wisconsin could have won by a lot more. They dropped like 3 picks today. 3 fumbles didn't bounce their way. This could have been an absolute bludgeoning, even worse than it was today. That was an emphatic win for Luke Fickell. And you compare it to last year, how this team ended, where it looked like everyone quit. This team is getting better every week, since that Ohio State loss, where it's like, oh boy, like no one cares anymore. This team just sucks. The defense starts showing up against Oregon. Since then, this unit has been one of the best in the country. The offense today, Jeff Grimes was in his absolute bag. Every aspect of this unit has gotten better. Nathaniel Vakos hit 2 field goals today. Offense, defense, special teams. The confidence has grown, and every unit has gotten better. They're playing harder, and that is how you evaluate a team. That's how Barry Alvarez says he evaluates coaches. Are they getting better? And today, they showed proof. 2nd-ranked win in the last 3 weeks. This team has vastly improved to the one we saw just 4 weeks ago.
This is beyond an A-plus effort for this team. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk here, recapping here on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. The 27-10 win for Wisconsin, taking down 21st-ranked Illinois. The 2nd win against a ranked opponent. Number 2 in the career as a Wisconsin coach for Luke Fickell. But Riley, we were talking about this too, is that this Wisconsin team, we knew how hard of a schedule it was, and to have 6 ranked teams on your schedule, there was a chance that this team could go 0-6. Now they're 2-4. They're going into great momentum with the Axe game, a huge rivalry game going into the road or going into Minnesota. And let's be honest, we all have our feelings against more so a PJ Fleck and how we feel going into this week. This builds a lot of momentum, but more so from the bigger picture, this is electric. We also want to hear from you out there. If you're staying up late, if you're not partying on Regent Street, down State Street, wherever the case is, too, and you're listening to us, we hope you are, and we really appreciate it. We want to hear from you. 844-770-3776 on the Carbless Talk and text line. Less is more. Man, Riley, I got to tell you, the chills are there, man. Every single thing is there, man. For you, though, too, lifelong Wisconsin kid. Mm-hmm. You've seen the program go through its up. You've seen it at its highest points, for sure. But also, you saw how the ebbs and flows. For me, like I said, I came in 2021. I'm feeling like this is a buzz for me. This is a big old high. But for you, though, as the Wisconsin kid, to see how this program, especially this year, has grown time and time and battled through a lot of adversity. The national headlines, they go and have that Washington upset, and it seems like they're trending in a better direction. Do you have more faith now in Luke Fickell in this program?
Oh, 100%. And I mean, I had faith in Luke Fickell at the lowest of lows.
You were catching a lot of heat for that when you put it out that week. Yes. I'm not going to lie. But hey, look at this. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Yes.
Look at you.
Yes. Thank you. And it's not on me. I was one of the many, and I think this is valid. Back in that Maryland game specifically was, I think, the lowest of low for this Badgers team and for this Badgers program in decades and 30 years. We went straight back to the Don Morton eras, and I think Luke Fickell has done things, has performed as a coach in a way that deserved to be fired. But the resiliency of Luke Fickell and the belief in the athletic department that no, we did not make a mistake. Yes, most other programs, Fickell would have been gone a long time ago. He might have been gone after last year. No, we are going to stay the course. This is our guy. We believe in him. And man, oh man, has this team responded. Like you said, I've pretty much only seen Wisconsin ever be really good at football. And so this has been hard to stomach the past couple of seasons for sure. And I know it's been even more so for the fans that lived through the Don Morton era, who lived through the 80s of just pure ineptitude. No one cared about football at this university. I know it's been more painful for them. It's been painful for all of us, and probably none more so than those players, those seniors who went through all of this, that coaching staff. Today, they played for each other. They played for the seniors. They played for a guy like Nazir Forkurine, who announced this week that he's officially the judge. He can't play this year. The judge isn't letting him. The NCAA isn't letting him. So he's going to work on preparing for the NFL draft. But he was on the sideline today. He was ready to go. He put his blood, sweat, and tears into this program. And I think the perfect embodiment of a Wisconsin Badger that was on display today was Daryl freaking Peterson. He has been a Wisconsin Badger since 2021. He was recruited by Paul Christ. He was there in a disappointing 2021 season. My freshman year, me and Daryl, actually, now that I realize it, we're the same age. We came into school the same time.
I do remember something when we talked to Daryl Peterson, actually, in preseason for interviews. I remember specifically when you two were talking. He complimented you and said that you have the perfect voice to this. I got to put it out there. Riley Yauk has voice that is just smooth as all can be, smooth as butter. The golden voice, Riley Yauk. I got to tell you that.
Thank you.
That's coming from Daryl Peterson,
too,
man.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I really appreciate Daryl Peterson. Yeah, it's that kind of night. It's that kind of night. We're happy. It's awesome. The Badgers had their second ranked win. It's the first time since 2019 we've had 2 ranked wins in the season. This is amazing. And thank you, Daryl Peterson. I forgot that he complimented me on my voice. That was really funny. But it was great talking to him at the beginning of the season. I know everyone's going to want to talk to him this week because he has been here through the absolute dregs. He was here with Christ. He got recruited by Christ. He saw his guy get fired. He saw half a season of Jim Leonhard, probably a guy he wanted to get hired. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but probably wanted Jim Leonhard to continue coaching. He saw him get passed up for the head coaching spot. He saw Luke Fickell get hired. He decided, no, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to be a Wisconsin Badger, and I'm going to play my absolute ass off my entire career and work my way through the struggles. And look how it pays off. In his final game in a Wisconsin Badgers uniform, arguably his best game of his career. 6 tackles, 3 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, 2 pass breakups, 1 forced fumble. He killed Luke Altmaier today.
Nasty.
He destroyed him. Daryl Peterson, the perfect embodiment of a Wisconsin Badger, loyal to the core, didn't shy away from the difficulty, didn't shy away from the struggles, stuck with it under Christ, under Leonhard, under Luke Fickell. And, man, he was rewarded today.
I want to turn it to the other side of the ball and give a shout-out to a hometown kid of mine, a guy I've been rooting for this entire time, a hometown kid, Darian Dupree, too, because we talk about the seniors, we talk about how they balled out. This is their final time to do that at Camp Randall, and, man, they really showed out. But the flip-flop of why you feel so good about this program is because of the young guys and how they balled out as well. Darian Dupree, true sophomore, 131 yards on 17 carries, 2 touchdowns, 84 yards. You, myself, and Owen Dimple, who is also here at the Everlight Solar Studio producing this show. And, man, we were jumping for joy.
Yes.
We were jumping for joy as soon as he saw Pater well ahead of him, man. We were just
60
saying,
yards of green grass.
So, shout-out. Fellow Mount Carmel High School alum. They're going to state, too, by the way.
Wow.
Wanted to share that news. So, big day for the Mount Carmel Caravan. Love seeing Darian Dupree ball out because, man, that's just going to be the beginning. And this whole running back room, too, unfortunately, it really feels like every room in general has gone through its injuries. And that's another thing to point out to Jeff Grimes. The fact that he's able to do what he is doing now with this offense, with so many different moving parts. The offensive line, this was their this unit of the offensive line, I saw this during the broadcast, was that this was the 4th straight start that this offensive unit had, and I want to say that they've had 7 different rotations or something like that. At least it feels like 7 different rotations at the very least. So the fact that they are finally finding that consistency with 1 week to go, even if you don't make it to a bowl game, it is what it is, unfortunately. That's a little bit of a bummer. But if you end this season on a high note next week and bring back the axe, hey, you know what? Moral victories only carry so far, but it's much more than a moral victory. This is a victory that carries over into that season, into spring ball, into the recruiting transfer portal era, all those things, man. What is next? What could be? what kind of momentum does this give Wisconsin and the football program?
Yeah, it's going to come down to roster retention coming next year, but I feel like that's more of a conversation for after Wisconsin just destroys and annihilates Minnesota next week 70-0. But you mentioned Darian Dupree. He came into this season with very high expectations. We heard all offseason how good he was. He was primed for the next step. This backfield with Dylan Jones and himself, it was going to be fantastic. It was going to be dynamic. It was going to be fun. It was going to be back to the Wisconsin running back rooms of yore back in the day. And it didn't turn out how he had hoped. He struggled. It didn't look like he never really found his footing this season. And then he got hurt and he was out for multiple weeks. Then even the past couple weeks when he's played, he's been on snap counts. Last week with Atuka going down, he was kind of forced into action a little bit more than expected. But then today, he ran with conviction. Man, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's Wisconsin's first 100-yard rusher since Tawee Walker against Northwestern last year. This is the first time this season, week 13, that Wisconsin has had a running back run for 20-plus yards, that has had a 20-plus yard run. He had an 84-yard run today on that touchdown scamper. Like, this was a performance to behold. He was running violent, he was running angry, and that we haven't seen it from him so far this year. So everyone just seems to be clicking at the right time. The offense is moving. The confidence seems to have been increased across the board. Jeff Grimes is getting more creative with how he's utilizing Trech Kekahuna, Tyrell Henry, Dekel Crowdis we saw today, and Dupree as the linchpin. It just gives you so much optimism and so much hope for what this offense could be and this team as a whole moving forward.
We have our first call on the Carbless Talkin' text line, a special one to kick off this evening, a late night for us. We have Riley, your father, Pat Yauk, on the line, joining us on the Carbless Talkin' text line.
He was a participant on Scotty Says today. Dad just wanted some extra airtime, huh?
Hey, he's back. Welcome to Wisconsin College Game Day, my friend.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for taking my call. I'm just super excited, super excited tonight. Probably the biggest thing that I noticed tonight, and I have to say this, is the first person out there to celebrate with the guy that basically took his job was Hunter Simmons. If you don't have a team culture, you got a team culture where this dude runs out there and hugs the quarterback that basically took his spot. You got some good things going on. And, I'm just going to say this right now. I know that Riley he's been on the Fickell train, but I'm telling you right now, if you want somebody to get through adversity, you take a wrestling coach, man. You get a wrestler. And I'm biased because I'm a wrestler. I'm a wrestling coach, but you get a wrestling coach out there like Luke Fickell, and you're going to have good things going on. But the big thing with Hunter Simmons coming out there, he's the first guy out there to celebrate that victory. You got a good culture there. The future is bright. That's what I see right there.
That's a fantastic observation, Dad. And what he didn't mention, he is biased, of course, as a wrestling coach, but he's a state champion wrestling coach. He knows how to win. He knows what winners look like, and your whole philosophy, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Dad, but is on building good culture. You're trying to build young men, and now that with the growth of women's wrestling, young men and young women into better people each and every day, forming them, coaching them, making them better wrestlers, making them better people. And if anyone could see a good culture, I'd trust your judgment. And I think that's such a good observation. Like, Hunter Simmons has no reason to be happy for Carter Smith. Like, it'd be so easy, and I think we would have seen this last year with this Wisconsin Badgers team. Everyone, a lot of mercenaries. And in this new era of college football, everyone's looking out for number one.
Everybody
looking
felt
out
flat.
for me.
Felt very
I'm
flat.
trying to get mine. I'm putting out tape so my next team can give me a bag. Hunter Simmons came from SIUE. He blew
Go Cougs.
He blew his opportunity. I gave him a ton of crap for how he performed. He performed terribly against Iowa and in most of his starts this season. But for a guy like that, who got a big opportunity, got a big break, fell short, and then was replaced in embarrassing fashion to still be with it and still be supporting and helping in the development of the future of this program. This guy's been here for 1 year, and he's invested in the success of the Wisconsin Badgers. Don't tell me the players don't love Luke Fickell. Don't tell me the players don't love it here at Wisconsin. That is clear, and thank you for pointing that out.
Papa Yauk, I got something for you. From the coach's mindset, too, I want to ask you, because, again, we talked about this a little bit, how the season went through its ups and downs. I mean, it's trending in a very good direction upward. But as a coach, when you see facing adversity, when you see, going on the tough times, leaning on each other, how proud are you to see that this Wisconsin Badger team has been doing that, has been proving that they are able to lean on each other? They're not giving up. Like, again, we're not trying to put the blame game on last season, but it did feel like that there was a little bit of a flat energy towards the end of last season, and we're guys giving it their all. There felt like that was in question, whereas this time around, they knew it was a tough schedule. They knew that there was going to be a high mountain to climb, and they are climbing that arm in arm, hand in hand together, and making sure that no man is left behind. Your reactions to that?
Yeah, well, I'm a Badger too. Like I graduated in '96. I saw when we sucked. Like my whole life, my whole young life, we sucked, and then I was there. We were there for the first return to the Rose Bowl and all of that stuff. So seeing the struggles was heartbreaking. And I think as an alumni, especially from my era, I can tell you that it was difficult to see. And again, like Jim Leonard. I love that guy. Like he's the epitome of everything that like what Wisconsin football and the state of Wisconsin was about. But at the same time, I see Luke Fickell come in, and I'm like, wrestler. I'm down with that. I love that stuff. And so it was that the whole thing was like a conflict of interest the whole time. But the truth is, what we've seen is a team that has fought back from adversity. And I love the fact that the young guys seem like they are ready. They're committed already, and they're ready to take this thing to a new level. So I just think it is time to believe in Luke Fickell, and I'm not just saying that because my kid says it all the time, even though he's got a lot of trouble for it. Maybe I taught him too well. I don't know. Maybe loyalty is too big a thing for me, but I just think it's I think that we can take a breath, and we can take that axe back and move into the next year and into the future feeling pretty good about it. And that's exciting to me.
Yeah, damn right, Dad. I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much for calling in. This was fun. Glad. I know you told me you were going to call in. Thank you for doing it. You couldn't have picked.
To do it.
Yeah, you couldn't have picked a better game, because this team has had every opportunity to quit this season. This is, by every metric, the hardest schedule in college football. You said it, Pablo. 6 ranked teams on the schedule. Yes, exactly. They're 4th in a row they played tonight. They could have easily phoned it in. Nope, we suck. The schedule's too hard. We're going nowhere under Fickell. He's going to get canned at the end of the season. Let's just move on. I'm going to start looking elsewhere. I'm going to have my agent start talking to people. I'm out. And I haven't seen a single player on this roster quit or give up. They have faced the lowest of lows. They have faced rock bottom potentially in the history of Wisconsin football, and they decided that they were going to be the team that picked themselves up off the canvas and rally. And man, oh man, have they rallied. They have come out swinging. And like you said, Dad, the future is looking very, very bright for this Wisconsin Badgers squad. Yep. I can't wait. This was a fun game to watch. I'm finally excited. I am fired up to watch us beat the ever-loving tar out of the Golden Gophers next week. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to be chopping down the goalposts at TCF Bank Stadium. It'll be a sight to see, as this was certainly a sight. First step was beating Bielema. Now Fleck is in our sights.
Yep. I'm telling you, you get a wrestler. You get a wrestler to lead you, you're going to be in good shape. It might take a bit, but you're going to get there. Guaranteed.
You got to stick with it. You got to stay. Well, how many rounds is it again in high school wrestling? It's 3, right?
Yep, 3 periods.
Three periods.
3.
There it is. All right, you can
3
tell. You
periods.
can tell I'm a wrestling novice out here, so I will wholeheartedly admit that.
Did you say Mount Carmel? Hey, Mount Carmel, they're tough. That Mount Carmel's tough. I heard you mention them before.
Those are my boys.
You got to strap it on when you go against Mount Carmel.
Yeah. No, I did not wrestle, but I know. Yes, we do have a good, rich wrestling culture out there. So hey, it's good to know.
For sure.
It's good to know that Mount Carmel wrestling also has a good reputation too. Well.
Absolutely.
Papa Yauk, appreciate you calling in here on the Carbless Talking text line. Thank you so much for the time.
Appreciate you guys.
Yep, appreciate you, Dad.
Anytime.
I'll see you at Thanksgiving.
Well, we are
See ya.
we're certainly thankful for a lot of that. Again, you can call it on the Carbless Talking text line, 844-770-3776. Let us know how you feel about Wisconsin. We're about to put out a poll. Do you believe Wisconsin football is back? That'll be on, you can find us on Twitter or the X poll, whatever we want to call it. Yes or no? Straightforward question. I think we feel like we know what that answer is. Before we take a quick breather, I want to tell you that ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day is presented by Coors Light. When you need to refresh on game day, choose a beer that's as cold as the Rockies, cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. When the mountains are blue, Riley, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
The 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Man, oh man, 27-10 as we're looking at Bret Bielema talking to the post-game media right now. He don't look too happy at the moment. 27-10, Wisconsin.
Little Bert's sad.
Hashtag karma, and it don't feel good.
I can't wait to listen back to both Fickell's press conference and Bret Bielema. He looks like you just kicked his puppy in the face right now.
Tell.
He is so downtrodden. This is beautiful.
Red-nosed right now. You could tell there's a lot of emotion behind that and trying to hold some things back. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk, Owen Dimpful back here at the old Everlight Solar Studio producing for us. We always appreciate everything that you do, Owen. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk here once again. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. You know that honey-do list that's been sitting on your counter since, 2020? Yeah, we can handle that. From leaky faucets to light fixtures, our handyman team at Bruner Realty fixes it all. Fast, friendly, and done right the first time. We take care of it so you don't have to. Visit fixedbybruner.com. That's fixedbybruner.com. Because your to-do list deserves a happy ending.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? For a limited time at TPC Wisconsin, enjoy full golf privileges and all club amenities without full dues. Pay just $150 per month through March to maintain your full golf membership with no golf dues until April 1st. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Schedule a tour or submit a membership inquiry at tpcwisconsin.com and start enjoying the private golf club experience you deserve. That's tpcwisconsin.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Talk Badger sports year-round with the Jump Around podcast.
Yeah, I really liked watching Leo Chanel. I remember in school I was watching his Chanel and 5 highlight reels. I always thought he was really cool, writing death row on his arms and stuff. So that was probably my favorite guy. I gotta wait a few years to write it on my arms. I think my arms gotta get a little bigger for sure.
The Jump Around, brought to you by Steinhoffels. Streaming live every Thursday on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and available wherever you get your podcasts.
Game day in Wisconsin calls for a big play. The Big Dinner Box from Pizza Hut. 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks, all for just $19.99. That's enough for you to feed your whole lineup and the fans before kickoff. Hand-tossed, pan, thin and crispy, even tavern style. Pizza Hut has something for every seat in the stadium. Order now for delivery or carryout at pizzahut.com or on the app. Fuel your game day with the Big Dinner Box. Pizza Hut. Feed good times.
Starion Bank redefines local banking in Madison. As a community bank with a commitment to Dane County, experience a banking relationship where your goals are our priority. Enjoy competitive deposit and loan rates and a partnership that thrives on local engagement and support. Starion Bank is more than a full-service financial institution. It's a community pillar dedicated to your prosperity. Visit one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, offering banking, lending, mortgage, and cash management.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
The last jump around at 2025, we were getting videos left and right from all of our teammates in the stadium. And the last one delivered of 2025 in a big way. 27-10. The final score, Wisconsin taking down number 21 Illinois. I'm Pablo Iglesias. He is Riley Yauk, and this is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. And Riley, the vibes are high. I know we're chilling right now in the studio, but I can't imagine what it is like right now. I mean, what State Street probably looks like. I feel like that Halloween couldn't even hold up a candle with what the vibes are probably like right now on that campus.
No, and right before Thanksgiving, too. So all the students want to get their partying out. They're done with exams probably for a week or so, probably until finals for most classes. So this is an entirely free weekend. You could see on the field storm, there were so many more students. The crowd was full, which is beautiful to see. The field was almost entirely full, shoulder to shoulder, body to body. It was fantastic. State Street is going to be absolutely ballistic on the TV right now. They're showing the Badgers win tweet for the seniors. You got Charlie Jarvis as the face of the tweet.
Let me ask you.
Name, if anyone. There's no way.
There's no way.
You're lying if you tell me you knew who the heck Charlie Jarvis was coming into this game. And he had one of the bigger plays of the night on a muffed punt attempt by Illinois. He just came screaming off the edge, lowered the boom. It looked like he hurt the punter on the play, and we knew that this defense and I guess special teams had to step up if the Badgers wanted to win. I think the offense far exceeded anyone's expectations today with what they were able to do. They finally had a home run hit by Darian Dupree, which I'm sure we'll talk more about the offense later.
100%.
But this defense needed to force turnovers, they needed to cause havoc, and they needed to make their presence felt if Wisconsin wanted to win this game. And boy, oh boy, did they make their presence felt today.
The Barry Alvarezism, winning heals the soul for sure, or winning heals all things, essentially. And talking about the defense, Riley, we will take a look at the numbers at where they held Illinois, because I'm sure now it's got to be the last 4 opponents. But before that, coming into this game, Wisconsin holding its last 3 opponents in Oregon, Washington, and Indiana under their season averages for rushing yards and total yards. That's pure dominance on the defensive side. And I know we've had a little bit of our struggles and our troubles back and forth. We've talked to other teammates, too, about Mike Tressel's defense and whether or not this thing's actually going to work out. But you know what? It seems like things are clicking. It seems like things are looking really good for this defense. And Daryl Peterson, a guy who goes out and balls out on senior day. Christian Allegro, a man who only has one healthy hand. He's got a club on his left hand. It's got to be at least 10 pounds on that thing. He doesn't care. He's going out and getting that 4th down tackle. You love to see the commitment from this defense. You love to see that, again, everybody's locked in arm in arm. They don't care as long as they get the job done. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be this flashy way of doing it. But ultimately, that's what a Wisconsin win is. That's what Wisconsin football is, if you ask me. It doesn't matter how sexy of a win you do it, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how you win. Winning ugly, it's still winning. Today was not an ugly win. It was a beautiful win, though. As I said, it's an A+, beyond A+ effort. This was how you played complimentary football. But going back to the defense, that is... I don't know how else to say it, man. That's just Wisconsin football at its peak. That is, if you can keep building off of this, the defense, man, you know exactly what happens when a Wisconsin defense is feared and revered, and we saw a prime example of what that could do, and then some for the rest of this year.
Yeah, and this defense, I brought up the identity in the first segment of the show, violence. And how has that identity been established? By this defense causing violence. And this week especially, we hadn't really seen any violence from the offense, but today we saw some violence from the offense. They picked up what the defense was putting down. And I want to give you one stat here that I think really encapsulates the improvement of Mike Tressel's unit.
Lay it on me.
They had 12 sacks in their first 7 games, which was, I think, near the bottom of the FBS. Not great. You're averaging just over 1 sack a game, maybe 1.5 sacks a game, which is not great. You're probably not causing much pressure. You're not really distressing the quarterback at all. So 12 sacks in the first 7 games for the Wisconsin Badgers. In the last 4 games, they have had 17 sacks. That is insane. They're averaging over 4 sacks a game in their last 4 games. They are getting to the quarterback. Altmaier was dead on arrival at the end of that game. You saw him. He had bandages all over his knees. He could barely move by the time the game was over. Darrell Peterson had 3 sacks. Christian Allegro had a sack. Charlie Jarvis, they credit him. Oh, no, that's the TFL. Pardon me. Christian Allegro, Mason Reiger, another senior with the big sack. This defense, and I said this, and I think people were giving me crap for this too, but that's the job. I think against Oregon, like this defense flipped a switch against Oregon. And these last 4 games, all against ranked teams, against the best offensive lines in the country, they have turned it up. They have been playing with another level. And distressing the quarterback, getting him uncomfortable, is how you win games. Luke Altmaier, I called him Drew Altmaier in the pregame show. I don't know where I got Drew from, but he played like a Drew Altmaier today. He did not play well because he was uncomfortable, constantly having to move off his spot. I didn't like it. Was frustrating. Because when he's perfectly healthy, his scrambling ability is really annoying and tough to deal with for a defense. By the end of the game, he couldn't scramble anymore because this defense was beating him to death every single play. And even when he was getting the ball out, he was getting hit. This team, they've been causing more pressure. Credit to Mike Tressel for dialing up more exotic pressures, and credit to the effort from this defense, led by Darrell Peterson, led by Mason Reiger, led by Christian Allegro. We have given so many flowers to Mason Posa and Cooper Catalano, deservedly so. The young freshman linebackers, I think, kind of kick-started the charge on this defense. They brought the first juice, the first glimpses of electricity. But man, oh man, have these seniors responded, and they took charge today on senior night, which was beautiful to see.
50 total tackles from this team. And you want to know how many guys are listed on that list, Riley?
How many?
19. 19 different guys recorded a tackle today. You had 19 different guys contributing on the defense. Absolutely insane. Unfortunately, Sebastian Cheeks is on this list, but he has no tackles but 2 QB hits. So, still, this defense was effective as all could be. 844-770-3776. The Cardinals Talk and Text line. List is more. Pablo Iglesias here with Riley Auk. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. We got a text out here, too. Jason needs to let Tausch know that I have an autographed Dane helmet in pristine condition that he could also use for Michelle Smallman. If they need.
For those who don't know, if you weren't listening to the pregame show today, Evan Cohen and Michelle Smallman. Evan Cohen, the UW alum, the WSUM alum, the Wisconsin Badger, bet Michelle Smallman, who's a graduate of the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, the Fighting Illini. The loser of today's game was going to have to wear a football helmet of the opposing team for an hour of their show Unsportsmanlike, which you can hear 5 to 9 a.m. every weekday morning here on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app.
You can also see our studio, too, ESPN2 and ESPNU on the Fridays episode.
TV,
that was pretty legit.
It was pretty sick. For their show, for an hour, on television, on the radio, Michelle Smallman is now going to have to wear Mark Tauscher's old football helmet.
A used helmet.
From the 1990s. That is sensational. I am so excited to see that. It's going to be cinema. Michelle Smallman had arranged with Coach Bielema and Illinois for like a brand new helmet to be used for Evan if Illinois won. But, as they say, I guess we'll never know. So Michelle Smallman is going to have to wear Mark Tauscher's football helmet next week, which that'll be hilarious.
Some inside baseball. I am trying to get Evan Cohen on here, so hopefully we do get him. Fingers crossed. Sounds like he's available and probably ready to throw I'd say gloat a little bit to his teammates over there on Sportsmanlike. And you know what? Why not? And I know Smalls had said too that she was hoping that Jump Around was going to be okay because a lot of people had said to her, she mentioned this actually on Unsportsmanlike, that people were unfortunately apologizing to her, saying, "Oh man, I wish you could see Wisconsin when Wisconsin's through the roof, and Jump Around is so much fun when we're good." Well, goodness, she got a good jump around today.
That she did, and Wisconsin played very, very well today. And this is a down year. Parker Dutcher in the YouTube comments. Isn't fully sold yet. He doesn't think the Badgers are back. And even though it's been a down year, that's what the environment looked like for senior night in a rough year for the Wisconsin Badgers. So I think Michelle Smallman still ended up getting her money's worth today, which is fantastic to see.
You love to see it. And now joining us, we don't have to speculate anymore. We can ask from a first-person type of view. Evan Cohen, our proud UW alum, is joining us now here on the Carbless Talking Text Line, host of Unsportsmanlike. Evco, what's going on, man? How big of an upset was this, and how's Smalls doing right now?
Oh, she was so annoyed. It was so great walking out of that stadium tonight. And she was coming up with excuse after excuse because then she started to do this spin. Well, every time we've been to games this year as a show, the home team wins. So actually, I'm the reason Wisconsin won. I mean, the spin was just utterly ridiculous. What a game. You know, guys, I bounced around during the course of the game because Wisconsin was great and gave us, like, field passes before the game. So we were on the field, and everybody was in good spirits on that Illinois side because Coach Bielema, and I appreciate this, came up to us and came kind of running over and saw us and gave us a hug and the whole deal. We were talking about all different kinds of things. He was very relaxed, and, you know, I'm sure that he thought that they were going to win tonight. And there was a part of me that I was on the verge of saying to him, hey, take it easy on us tonight. But you know what? I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't. Because then I made that, didn't do it. Didn't do it. Then I made my way up to the press box, and then I sat with LePay and Tausch during the first quarter, and a lengthy drive, 16 plays or whatever it was?
Eight and a half minutes, I think.
Nine and a half minutes. Yep, 16 plays, nine and a half minutes.
Huge. That was huge, I thought, because it just totally took the life out of Illinois in terms of like any rhythm on offense, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then I went over with our buddy Nestor in his suite. He was great and had us there. And that was towards the end of the second quarter into halftime. And then we're walking around. I go back in the third quarter. There's a huge run. I hope I'm getting my timeline right on this. Mm-hmm. But the huge run with 80-some-odd yards, which was unbelievable. And then I thought just the play that was awesome for me was the punt. On the special teams, just pummeling the punter. And, just that to me was really important because that was just a heads-up play by us. And obviously, Coach Bielema is an awesome special teams coach, and that's so much of what he's known for. And we kind of outdid them there. I mean, just every which way. And I'm going to go. The defense was great, as we know, and the defense has been great with all the sacks over the last 3 weeks. But there's been something going on here with Carter Smith. I know that, it's one of those, the numbers may not look good if you didn't see the game, But being at the game, and obviously you guys saw it, it just felt like Carter Smith kind of has given them something here. Even like that little play late, or that little screen pass for the first down, on 3rd and 14, was it, if I'm not mistaken? I thought that was huge. I just, even trying to get off the double, the trickery that was not a catch that he thought was when he got knocked to the ground. He just made good plays, and he's not spectacular, but he made smart plays, and I like him. I'm excited. This was a great night all around, guys.
A great night for sure. He's Evan Cohen, and you can hear him on Sports and Like weekdays from 5 to 9 here on 100.5 ESPN. Proud to have him on here, and just love that. I know that this was a big weekend for you. You were really excited to just be here in Madison, and you talked about how electric it is, how fun it is to be around everybody. You talked about Carter Smith and the how the juice that he brings. A couple weeks ago when he came into the Washington game, the word I used, Evan, was effective, and just the impact that he made. Again, he wasn't flashy, to your point. So the big question that we've been talking about on the Jump Around, which you can hear with myself and Jim Rutledge and Riley Yout, well-produced show. Thank you to the work that Riley does on Thursdays on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel on Thursdays, is do you stick with Carter Smith? What do you do for the future now? Because, again, you want to take it week by week. You still want to take care of Minnesota, but your view on do you believe that Carter Smith should be the guy that Wisconsin rolls with at quarterback for the future? Because he is young, but there is that big upside. I want to know what you're thinking.
Yeah, I would. Pablo, is it a question that they wouldn't, you think?
No, I guess it's just because
Jim Rutledge is convinced that they need to attack the portal, spend the money, get the best possible quarterback you can afford in the portal, because next year's make or break for Fickell, make or break for McIntosh. You cannot rely on a true sophomore quarterback who we don't know how he'll develop over the offseason, even though we have seen lots of positive growth just over the past 3 weeks. So.
I don't think it's a question, or I don't think it's a maybe not. I say why not roll with it, because, again, yes, it is a risk, but I'm with it because, again, the confidence that he shows with fifth-year seniors saying that this guy goes into huddles and acts like that in the best way. He has that confidence. He has that swagger to him. He does this just, in the best way, where he is proving himself at such a young level that he's only going to get better. He's only going to grow more. He's only going to mature. And I've even heard it, too, after the Washington win. He said, it doesn't matter how we win. All that matters is that I can help my team win in any way possible. So, again, for me, I say it's a no-brainer.
I tend to agree. That's not to say don't bring in someone else or don't have somebody else ready to go or whatever it may be, or not, just ignore the quarterback position. But, what I saw from him tonight was that moxie. I don't want to go cliche, but he feels like a gamer. There were little times where it's like, all right, just take the 6 yards on the run, which he did. There was one play to a tight end on the left side of the field from where I was sitting that I was impressed. He could have thrown it about a second earlier. But, I like the quarterbacks that don't make mistakes. I'm risk-averse from a quarterback position. I like the idea of, if you have to throw it away. A drive can end in a punt. That's not the worst thing in the world. And I've seen enough from this young man. Here's the way I would do it, okay? Let's look at it this way, guys. Let's pretend this was anywhere between 1998 and 2002 when I was a student at the University of Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. If Carter Smith came on like this at the end of the season, would there be any doubt who the starting quarterback would be next year?
No, not at all.
No. Because of the fact that we're in the NIL era, we're always assuming we can upgrade. And I think the way to upgrade is to make sure he has all kinds of protection on the offensive line, make sure the running game is great. And that's, to me, the version of the upgrade that I want to see. I've seen enough to be excited about this kid. Why would we not, dive into this here? And if we have money to spend, maybe spend it to protect him and give him weapons if need be and continue to strengthen the defense. I like what I've seen.
Yeah.
He feels like he should be the guy.
Yeah, and you know how expensive quarterbacks are in this NIL era. You have so much money. If Ted Kellner is correct and they're going to invest significantly more into the football program, Chris McIntosh said that as well, you can spend so much more money on every other position and really strengthen the surrounding cast for Carter Smith if he ends up being the guy. But, Evan, broadening the scope here a little bit, talked about Carter Smith's growth and what we've seen from him. Barry Alvarez says he evaluated coaches based on growth throughout the season and how they improved throughout the season. Am I crazy to say that this team has grown expeditiously, like exponentially, since we last talked to you after the Maryland game? Like, the amount of growth is staggering we've seen since then, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think it's a question. I mean, I think that there was a point, I want to say going into the Maryland game, you guys are going to have to correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I believe Ben Brust on KBN said if they don't win against Maryland, there may not be another win this season. And now, and by the way, when Ben said that, I didn't think that was too far off. And now, in back-to-back games, they've won against ranked teams, top 25 teams. I think it's impossible to say that they're not getting better. They're obviously leaning into really young players that have a chance to be here for years to come, like Carter Smith and others. And I think that's kind of probably just a lot of guys are playing ahead of schedule. But if the guys that were playing on time weren't actually performing, the guys that are playing ahead of schedule are the ones that Coach Fickell is clearly getting the most out of, and he's making them look good, and they're making him look good. So I think that you're right. I think that they have definitely improved as the season progresses. And what are they, 4-7? Am I getting that right?
Yep, 4-7. Yep.
So if they win against Minnesota, we're talking 5-7. Is that good? No. Is that acceptable? No. Mm-hmm. Is it an utter embarrassment? At week to week, it was. But on the whole, 10 years from now, we may look at this season and say, yeah, that was a down year. But maybe it started something versus an embarrassment of a year.
Evan Cohen here from Unsportsmanlike. You can hear him again 5 to 9, on weekdays here on 100.5 ESPN. Proud UW alum too. Very happy to have him here. Evan, you made a great point there, and I want to ask you, a win like this, again, this is also the second-ranked win. Riley and I were going through the schedule. This team had 6 ranked teams on its schedule. I feel like that's been the headline on and on in the offseason that, how are they going to do in the schedule? How are they going to do facing all these ranked teams? For them to have 2 wins is very nice right here, but a win like this too, what does this do for the future of the program, the brand identity? It's still up in the air, and there's still a lot of work that Luke Fickell, Chris McIntosh, and even Chancellor Mnuchin, everybody needs to do in terms of fixing this brand and what it looks like now. But what does tonight do in your eyes as an alum, as somebody who's very proud to be a Wisconsin Badger? What is the aftermath, and what are the effects that a win like this does?
Yeah, I would say that it really goes back to the question that we discussed just a couple of minutes ago. Does a win like this solidify Carter Smith's role for next year? Mm-hmm. Because that, to me, is what you're really talking about here. That's really whether or not they could actually use this to build for the future. Because if you basically have, a sophomore quarterback next year? What is he technically going to be a sophomore next year? Or, I thought somebody said, I thought Jim said the other day that he's not even qualified to be a freshman, right? Because it's a low number of games.
Yes. So since he'll have only played 4 games, he can still redshirt this season. So next year, he will be still a redshirt freshman, technically. He will still have 4 years of eligibility next year, starting next year.
Yeah, so that's why I said that's what the excitement is. That, okay, do they have that locked up? Do they have this wild pass rush that we've seen over the last few weeks? And is that the strength of the team? And obviously Coach Fickell, that's his specialty, right? The defensive line, I would assume, is kind of where you would lean there. So I think what tonight and last week shows you is, okay, there's a basis for success here. Rush the passer, get after the passer, play really good defense, have that quarterback with a little juice and moxie to him that may not throw the ball 100 times a game, but okay, fine. If he's handing the ball off, running backs are getting holes that are going to allow them to do what they did, right? And Darian Dupree tonight, 17, 131, 2 touchdowns. I mean, are we kidding here? I mean, that's amazing. Right, when you're looking at that. And I know obviously it was an 84-yard run as part of it, but still, I mean, I think that, and by the way, the wide receivers were blocking. You had, T.Y. Hilton's kid, Eugene was in the mix a couple of times. Mm-hmm. There's stuff happening over the last couple of weeks. But yeah, you feel better about the program right now.
Yeah, and I feel like this is something tangible you can finally sell to recruits and to alumni and to boosters. And Evan, when you joined us last, against Maryland, you said that what Fickell needs to do, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but if I remember correctly, you said that Fickell needs to go back to a grassroots approach to try and get buyback, or to get this alumni base, the boosters, the supporters of Wisconsin football, the fans, to buy back in. Get out, shake hands, kiss babies. We've now seen, finally, positive developments on the field. Is that the biggest thing still lacking, in your opinion, from the Luke Fickell tenure? And if so, are you still of the opinion that that is how he should approach this offseason from a non-football perspective?
In terms, okay, so like, walk me through what is your dream scenario for Fickell this offseason? Then in this hypothetical, like what do you want? The season end. Let's hope they beat Minnesota. They go 5-7.
Yep.
What do you want them to do?
Yeah, I think. Are you talking off the football? Are you talking with like who he should go attack after for NIL, or with how he should approach garnering fan support?
No, just the overall approach. Not, I don't mean specific transfers or anything like that. Yeah. Overall approach.
Yeah, I think I agree with what you said back after the Maryland game, and I think that is that's the biggest area in which he's been lacking. I think he needs to get the biggest supporters of this university on his side. He needs to go out. We saw a job posting for a liaison for someone to go out, build relationships with high school coaches, build relationships with fans and alumni throughout the state of Wisconsin. I think Luke Fickell, in a dream scenario, go 5-7. Finally, people are starting to see the vision. They have a little belief. And Luke Fickell himself goes out there, meets these coaches, meets these people, builds good PR. I understand it's extra work. I understand maybe that's not his strong suit. But I want to see him go put in the extra effort to do it. Wisconsin is a different place. Wisconsin is a unique place. Wisconsin is a very special place where we care so deeply about loyalty, about someone coming in, if they're an outsider, becoming one of us, so to speak, becoming a Wisconsin guy. I want to see videos of Luke Fickell going crushing brats with guys at a bar up in the north woods of Wisconsin, going hunting with some guys. Deer season just opened up today. Obviously, that schedule doesn't really work out, but I'd love to see him just go do that. Become a Wisconsin guy. Take this offseason, become a Wisconsin guy, and then next year, if this success continues, if the investment pays off, I think just about everyone in this state, in this alumni base, in this fan base, will be back on the Luke Fickell train, and we'll be feeling much better about where this program is at and where it's heading.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. I think that is what needs to happen now in terms of being out and about, being seen and heard all across the state. And maybe, just maybe, this recent success triggers the ability to do that. Like, maybe we haven't focused on the human element of it, of like, while this is what you're supposed to do, maybe he is just distraught by all of the losing and the program that he thought he was going to build, and then having to go out and about and see these people who are not going to be happy with him, and why do you want to do that emotionally and mentally? Well, now, if he were to all of a sudden make an appearance somewhere on Monday, go show up to Wilde and Tausch on Monday morning, right? Just walk in the studios. All right, guys, what's up? And, now's the time. Now is the time, because maybe there was a little bit of shyness and reservation about, having to be peppered with all the negative questions. Well, now, sure, you're going to have to ask about his future, but at the same time, there is also the idea of asking about, like, how did you just destroy Illinois the way you did? How did you beat a ranked Washington team the way you did? Like, now he could potentially go out into the community and meet and greet and shake hands and kiss the babies, the whole deal, off of wins. So take advantage of it.
Evco, one more before we let you go here. I know you probably got an early flight out to New York, and then you got to jump onto it sports. I'm very excited to hear Monday's episode. Before you get going, I know that we had you on the jump around too earlier in the week. You can go back and listen to that interview. I felt like that there was going to be more juice too, because the last time Bret was in the building, that was a big loss that he handed to Wisconsin, and a tailspin was a great way that Adam Mertz described what that loss was and what it did to the program from there. So just a lot of juice, a lot of good energy. Kind of want to get your vibes on what it was like being around there, and truly, what do you think from this whole weekend, from getting back to visit Madison, to get to be here, to get to live through this, and for this to be that exclamation point? What do you think you're going to remember the most from this trip, Evan?
Well, I mean, certainly Wisconsin winning, and Small's having to wear a Wisconsin helmet on the show at some point over the next few weeks. I mean, that's a great one, and talking all the junk leading into this game. But, I mean, just the way that Madison always has taken care of us on our show, and I love Madison so much, and it means so much to me. And walking around State Street today and being at ESPN Madison on Friday, doing the show from there, which was amazing, being at the big ESPN Madison event that we had last night at Buck and Honey's with Tausch and LePay and my Professor Hoyt, who was able to come by there. It's just been an amazing week. WSUM, the student radio station, where Riley worked as well, and I worked, and having the opportunity to speak to all the kids there, and then getting the tour of Camp Randall and being on the field before the game and talking with Coach Bielema. I just think it's been an amazing weekend for us. We are both, Smalls and I are both so lucky to have had this opportunity for our schools to play, and she had never been to a game at Camp Randall, to see all the jump around and the great fans that were there, and just the parties. Obviously, Wisconsin College Game Day with ESPN Madison beforehand, which we went on obviously with Riley and Brad and Mertz, and it's just been an amazing few days, and we are so fortunate to be a part of it. And Madison still is the greatest town in the world, and University of Wisconsin is the best school in the world. So nothing has changed in the 20-plus years since I went to school.
Damn right.
Well, we love having you on here, Evan, and we loved having you out here this weekend. Love that you're always supporting the Badgers. Appreciate your time. He is Evan Cohen. You can hear him on Sportsman 5 to 9 weekdays here on 100.5 ESPN, and also you can see him on ESPN2 and ESPNU. Excited to see whenever Smalls puts on that helmet, Evan. Safe travels back to New York. We appreciate it. Thanks again for your time, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys, and on Wisconsin.
On Wisconsin,
Thank you.
sure. Man, oh man. Great time. Good vibes across the board. By the way, if you are looking for a reliable roofing and home restoration company in Wisconsin, Badgerland Exteriors is here to help. Residential and commercial roofing, siding, and solar, Badgerland Exteriors has you covered. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started today on your next project. Evan Cohen just joining us here. If you want to call and talk here on the Carpless Talk and Text line, 844-770-3776. The vibes are high here on a Saturday night here at the Everlight Solar Studio. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Start your career where the road to success is paved in coffee. At Dunkin' Donuts, we're now hiring crew members and hourly shift leaders at our locally owned locations. Dunkin' offers flexible schedules, employee discounts, health and dental benefits, and paid time off. Plus, bolster your resume with our own leadership training program and even scholarship opportunities. Up to $1,500 per semester. Text Team Spirit to 85000 or visit teamtmart.com/careers to apply. Dunkin', America runs on you.
Want to pay off this year's rent-a-mortgage? Feel like a real estate mogul at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison during November's Live for Free promotion. Starting at 4 p.m. on Saturday, November 29th, 24 winners will each spin the wheel for a cash prize of up to $5,000. Then at 8 p.m., one grand prize winner will pocket $25,000 in cash to use toward their rental mortgage. This could be your chance, but you have to be here. Live it up this November and go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Henningsen with Stoughton Health Ortho Team Clinic. I specialize in joint pain and joint pain surgery, specifically hip and knee replacement, including second-time surgery for hip and knee replacement. If joint pain or an injury is slowing you down, you don't have to live with it. We are here to help at Stoughton Health. Come in and we can talk to you about different techniques in order to get you back to doing what you want to do, whether it be walking the dog, going to work, or even playing outside with your kids. We want you to be able to do these things without pain.
Learn more at orthoteam.com.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
I think Matt LaFleur and both Jordan Love are good. I don't know if they're the guys that are going to be the ones that win you a Super Bowl.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe.
Does he have the it? The quarterback who says, we're not losing this game because I'm going to make sure of it?
Live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also available on the ESPN Wisconsin app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. Looking for new windows and doors? Visit sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
That bad Wisconsin team is back, baby.
Badgers.
Or at least, I don't know. Our ESPN Madison Twitter poll right now after the 27-10 upset over number 21 Illinois. Do you believe Wisconsin football is back? We are asking you on Twitter. Only 48%. It's narrow. 48% say yes. The other 52%, we got to do some work at trying to convince you. Canopy Wealth Management carries a long-standing tradition of working in the best interest of their clients every day. The team at Canopy emphasizes building local relationships and believes that values matter and strengthen their communities. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity isn't just a tagline, it is a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk here live at the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, Wisconsin. The 27-10 win, a convincing win, too. We saw the ranked win against Washington. This one just felt different, though. This is a way that you end the season, or at the home slate, I should say. Next week, you end the season with a potential win in that Axe game. There's a lot more juice than normal going into this, especially over the last few years. It feels like that in the best way. You have good positive energy. Because Luke Fickell's first season, let's look at this, not to get too ahead of what the Axe game looks like. Still want to talk about the big picture of this program as well. But, hey, there was some pressure. Get the Axe back. I think it was a 2-game losing streak at the time or something like that when Luke Fickell's first season going into the Axe game. So, hey, that felt good. But then the next season, you fall flat there, and it wasn't a good situation last year where it just felt like everybody was giving up in that case at home. So this is a good redemption time. But overall, 5-7. If you can win next week, Riley, I feel like it's a win. I know that this has been a weird season. This has been a season where, again, you're down in the dumps. We have been at the lowest of lows in recent Wisconsin history. Many are saying, too, that we talked with, feeling like that this is pretty close, if not very comparable to the Don Morton eras. And it's tough. There's still a lot of things that this program needs to do in the offseason. Ted Kellner, too, on Kyle Brust and Nortman, joining the Homer Hour, too, on ESPN Milwaukee, saying that they were not doing enough in terms of how they operated from a budget standpoint. So from that side, from the behind-the-scenes aspect and trying to pump more money into this team in this new era, in the nil era, as Ted Kellner put it. The nil era. The nil era.
trying to jump in and trying to make this team better, trying to bring Wisconsin football truly back. Again, I know a 5-7 season is not sexy. It's tough to look at that right now. 4-7 though, right now, based off of how we thought this season was going to go after the Maryland loss, I feel like 5-7 is an ultimate win based off of how this entire season went. That has gone.
Yes, if you look at it on the surface, and if you look at the season as a whole, is a 5-7 season a success? No, not at all. No. That is not the standard for Wisconsin football. Is it like Evan Cohen said? Is it a total embarrassment? No. Is it nearly as bad as we thought this season was going to be halfway through? Not even close. So I understand the hesitation for some folks to say that Wisconsin is back. But if you're not willing to say Wisconsin is back just because of how poor stretches were during the season, that's fair. I'll give that to you. However, I don't think there's a single fan out there that can admit with a straight face Luke Fickell and the Wisconsin Badgers have not turned a corner this season. They 100% have. And if you disagree with that, you're insane. This team has clearly turned a corner. They just thumped the 21st ranked team in the land. This is their 6th ranked opponent, their 4th in a row. We've said it. They've had every reason, every opportunity to give up, and they haven't. And they rallied, and they've stuck together, and they're winning football games now against teams that are better than them. This team is ravaged by injuries. Have we forgotten we've been without our starting quarterback since the second quarter of the first game? Like, give this team a squad. Give this team a healthy quarterback, a healthy anyone. Finally, we've had the same combination of offensive linemen for the 4th game in a row. Our defense, Allegro's playing with a giant cast on his left arm today.
Club zero.
And still being effective. Mason Posa went down. That is scary. That was probably the worst thing that could possibly happen to this team. I hope it's not serious. He came out of the injury tent. He was walking around under his own power. Seemed to be okay. Hopefully nothing bad long-term happened to Mason, and hopefully he's doing okay. But this team has so clearly turned a corner. This is not at all the same team that was playing Ohio State. So are they back yet? Do you want to see an 8-4 season, a 9-3 season before you officially declare they're back? Fine. That's your prerogative. But if you want to say that, nope, Fickell still sucks. This team's still bad. They were bad against Maryland. They were bad against Ohio State. They were bad against Oregon. I don't know. They were bad against Iowa. Yeah, sure, they were. But you know what good teams do? They grow throughout the season. They progress. They get better. And this team that we saw against Maryland is not beating the brakes off of this Illinois squad. They are not surviving against Washington in a slog. They are not putting the fear of God into Indiana in the first half. That team isn't doing it. This team is. So if you want to argue they're not back, fine. Is there a lot of room for this team to grow still? Yes. Does this team need to have a significantly better record next year? Yes. Do they need to pump in more NIL money, fill a lot of holes on this squad? 100%. But to argue that they haven't gotten significantly better and haven't turned a corner is asinine, in my opinion.
This is a really interesting point here on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel too. By the way, if you want to chime in there, if you want to chime in, excuse me. It's been a long night. It's been an exciting night. But again, on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, the ESPN Milwaukee chat as well, and also on the Carpless Talk and text line 844-770-3776. List is more. Parker Dutcher putting in the ESPN Madison chat. I need to see what happens next spring and summer. See what pieces we have left and what we've added. And am I happy with the last 4 weeks? Absolutely. But are we having success currently? Absolutely. And also here, are we back because of 2 decent games? Throws in the shrug emoji. Yeah, you never know. But you know what? At the end of the day, even if, again, you finish the season at 5-7, you still have to win that game next week, don't get me wrong. But even if you end the season with the same type of record that you have, you could compare the numbers and be like, well, we were 5-7 this year and we were 5-7 last year. Is there much of a growth? Yes, because if the last season ended on a 5-game losing streak.
And everyone quit. I was in the stadium for that last game against Minnesota. That was an embarrassment. There were like 10 people in the whole crowd. That was the exact opposite of what we saw today. That was a winning program we saw on the field. That is a win that, I don't know where I was going with that. That was a winning program on the field. That is what a winning program looks like, I should say. Because this year they haven't been a winning program. That is what a winning program looks like right there.
I know that there was a lot of flack with what Luke Fickell had said earlier after the Maryland loss, and in general when they face adversity, is pounding the rock, and that what John Gruden had said, which actually we still feel like that the J.J. Watt speech did a little bit more than the John Gruden speech, because it felt like John Gruden saying that to everybody. But pounding the rock and doing it together seems like it's actually working. It seems like it's actually starting. The guys never lost that attitude, I should say, too, of pounding the rock and staying together and uniting. And Riley, you and I have talked to the players, too. We could tell that there was something in terms of this team. It happened a little later than we were hoping it could, but to an extent, maybe it go back to what I said earlier in the season. The team can talk the talk and walk the walk. Did they do it consistently this season? No, but they still have a chance to prove a little bit. They still have a chance to prove, you know what? It's I love this movie, specifically on Netflix, Hustle with Adam Sandler. It's basically like Rocky in a basketball version of it. Mm-hmm. And it's a weird quote, but it's uplifting in the point where the basketball player goes back and redeems himself and just balls out. And Adam Sandler goes up to him. He said, "Hey, kid, you want my last piece of advice? They can't kill what's already dead." So you know what? Maybe Wisconsin is operating that way. And they got nothing to lose, and they go out there and play it like that. They're not just trying to play not to lose, but they're going out there playing to win.
Yeah, that didn't look like a dead program to me, though. No. Were they dead earlier in this season? Yes, but they have been resuscitated. And going back to Parker Dutcher's comment, I agree in the sense that we do need to see what happens next spring and summer. I think the Badgers are back now, and we've seen it, and we're going to continue to see it. But we talked about early on in the season that we saw glimpses, specifically last season, where they'd scare a really good team. They almost beat Penn State. They almost beat Oregon, but then they'd falter against the teams that they should compete with, that they should have beat: Iowa, Nebraska, Minnesota, and they just ran out of gas and they quit at the end of the season. So this year, I wanted to see, can they build upon the good things they do? And can they get over that hump and win one of those games? And we've seen that against Washington. It could have been easily. That Washington win could have been incredibly hollow. Mertzy talked about it on our postgame after that one. It could have been hollow. If Wisconsin comes out, gets thumped by Indiana, they don't have that first half, then gets smoked by Illinois, maybe gets the axe back, scrapes by, loses to Minnesota, who cares? Then it's like, okay, that was a fluke. It was nice, but whatever. This season, but that hasn't happened. They struggled early on in the season. They found their footing against Oregon. And then against Washington, they built upon that foundation with the defense. Offense, they broke the seal with that touchdown to Lance Mason. I actually talked to Lance Mason earlier this week about how cool that touchdown was, and he said, yeah, everyone just breathed a massive sigh of relief after he finally dove across the goal line in Eugene, in a rainy Eugene. But they took that foundation, that spark, and cultivated it into a flame, and they beat Washington. And then they were planning on beating Indiana. They wanted to beat the Hoosiers. Fickell was pissed afterwards. And then they collapse in the second half. They turn the ball over. Indiana puts the foot on the throat and reminds the Badgers that, hey, we're the number 2 team in the country. Again, they could have came out and folded. Ow, we aren't really that good. Washington, we just got lucky. We just got lucky. They're like, no, we're the better team. I don't care if there's a number next to Illinois' name. I don't care that our record is 3-6 or 2-6, 3-7, 3-7 coming into the game today. No, we are the better team. We are the more physical team, and we are going to dominate the Fighting Illini. We're going to continue to build upon what we have started. And they did that to a T today. It was beautiful to see, which is why I have so much faith in Luke Fickell. And do they need to continue to do that in the spring, in the summer, next season? Yes. But now I am very, very confident. We have tangible evidence that they can do it, and they will continue to improve.
Keep the faith with Fickell. Before I want to talk about this onto the other side too, but do want to address another comment that stuck out to me. Somebody challenging. It was not pounding the rock. The real momentum swing was the youth.
Yes.
They came in with moxie, swag, and made plays. That makes the rest of the team play rounded and free. That's really interesting. I want to talk about that on the other side here on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk here. Before, though, with Celebrations Entertainment, planning events has never been easier. They have complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movies, casino nights, and much more fun. Visit celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today. Celebrations Entertainment, fun, memorable events. Also saw Jeffrey from Celebrations at our tailgate. Just a lot of buzz. Everybody felt good. Everybody felt excited. For me, I was just saying in the best way, I'm like, man, I can't believe it's already the last home game of the season. And we get a taste like this. We get some good momentum going in there. We'll talk a little bit about the youth, like I said, on the other side here. It is a good time. We need to see a little bit more. Don't get me wrong. We need to see exactly what Wisconsin's going to do from here on out and how they build off of this. I still think pounding the rock, I think we should keep that in the back of our mind, too. I don't think we should be ditching that mantra necessarily. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk, live from the Everlight Solar Studio. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day on ESPN Madison, the ESPN Milwaukee, across all of ESPN Wisconsin. We'll be right back.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, service, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me. I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Attention business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns, it's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
Talk Badger sports year-round with the Jump Around podcast.
Fans are fans. They're right to their opinion is their right. But like you said, they don't see the hours that we're putting in. They don't see the hours that Coach Fick is putting in. And he's our head coach, and we're gonna fight, scrap, and claw for him. And we all have 100% confidence in him. And we're gonna show up to work every day and give it our all for him. And yeah.
The Jump Around, brought to you by Steinhoffels. Streaming live every Thursday on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and available wherever you get your podcasts.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
This is Monte Ball.
Monte steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown.
You listen to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Man, I got this right. My helmet to my back. You know I'm popping tag. But man, I got this right. Man, I got this right.
Wisconsin 27-10 winners over Illinois, the 21st ranked team, second ranked win this season, number 2 ranked win in Luke Fickell's coaching career with the Badgers. And speaking of winners, winners also go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, the casino with the highest payouts in the area. Go be a winner at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. They're open right now and stay open until 2 a.m. on a Monday. We'll see who ends up staying up later. Maybe, just maybe, we'll stay out till 2 a.m. out here at ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, more fun. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk here in the Everlight Solar Studio. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Riley, I tell you, I cannot stop smiling from ear to ear. The last time you and I were hosting Postgame, it was a pretty brutal one, I'm not going to lie. It was after the Ohio State game. I think the show itself was, in terms of ideas of what we wanted to talk about, was already pre-produced because we knew what to expect. And today is a different day. We were saying maybe it happens. We felt good. That maybe wasn't a maybe out of, a timid energy. It felt confident. It felt like the win today, I feel like, in comparison to Washington, that took a little luck. It took the right things going your way. And yes, that was the same situation here, but this one was almost like you truly belong here. This is a Wisconsin victory through and through. All 3 phases of the game. You look good. Did you do everything, picture perfect? No, but you did everything that you needed to in those categories the right way, the hard way, and you fought through every single thing, and it showed perfectly today.
Yeah, I mean, this team hasn't won under Luke Fickell. They needed to learn how to win and how to close out a big game against an opponent that was better than them. And now, I mean, the way they're playing, it's looking like, I don't know if Washington or Illinois are better than Wisconsin. Washington thumped Illinois. Now we just thumped Illinois, and we hung on against the Huskies. So this team needed to figure out and learn how to win under Luke Fickell. And I think that Washington game, that was a turning point where it's like, oh, we can do this. We can beat a ranked team. We can beat a Big Ten team, for crying out loud. And then they clearly came into the Indiana game with a ton of confidence. And major props to them for not getting down on themselves after a brutal second half against the Hoosiers. Then coming in today with even more confidence, knowing that they could win against Illinois. Not just hoping, not just believing. That's where we've been at as fans for most of the Luke Fickell tenure. I mean, I busted out some scripture today on the pregame show with Brad Norman. Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the realization of what is hoped for and evidence of things not seen. We were just operating on blind faith in the Badgers for most of the Luke Fickell tenure. For those of us who wanted to remain positive, we hadn't seen it on the field. We were just hoping and praying that the Badgers would be able to get it done. And now, and maybe that's how the Badgers are feeling too. They're like, we know we're putting in the work. We know we're doing the right things. Man, like, God, can you just give us something? Like, can something go right? And then something does. And they get over the hump. They beat Washington, and now they're like, oh, we don't have to rely on blind faith anymore. We've seen it.
Hey,
we've done it.
To build off of that, too, the St. Jerome quote, the mantra that's getting into different locker rooms in the NFL, good, better, best, never let it rest till the good gets better and your better gets best. That's what you got to do. You build it brick by brick, and it's great to see, again, how is this team going to keep building that foundation? How are they going to keep rising up to the ranks? Because you said it perfectly, that this team under Luke Fickell needs to learn how to win in the Luke Fickell way. This feels like, can Luke Fickell make this, as you said, violent? That is what Wisconsin football wants to be. That's what people should feel like when they come into Wisconsin. They feared and revered. If it's that defense, if it's the way that the offense runs, a 9.5-minute drive to start things out, that takes the gas out of you, and that gives your defense some much-needed rest to eat the clock. A big one for Wisconsin, again, winning 27-10. We're jumping on to the Carbless Talking text line. Norman from Utah, man. Norman from Utah is jumping in right now. It's late over here, but it sounds like it's still decently early. You could get after it out there in Utah. What's up, Norman? Welcome to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
How we doing?
Fantastic, Norman.
Electric,
I mean,
man.
how are
We're
you
energized.
doing? I mean, it's only 10. The night's so young out there in Salt Lake City or Provo or Logan, wherever you're at.
Parts unknown.
Yeah, it's been great. Got two things really want to talk about tonight. Just a phenomenal day. On top of it, I mean, with this, National Signing Day coming up, we've seen some recruits get flipped. I think that was just big tonight. To get such a big win with all those guys we had in the building tonight. Hopefully lock up some more commitments for this class. And then I talked about it a couple weeks ago after the Washington win, but it's another shout out to Riley Yauk and his optimism and his Army's optimism. I mean, I have on good faith that Riley Yauk put some U.S. currency on the Badgers' over win total when he was in Yellowstone National Park this August. And we just need more fans like that to be optimistic, keep seeing the bright side until it comes through. And I just want to end on a speech for the haters, all the Fickell haters over the years. So here we go.
The haters are the motivators.
There's a thing about being a Badger fan that you're never short of a few freeloaders like yourselves to fill up your stadium with. So here's to you naysayers. Thank you. So all you phonies, all you two-faced fans, you sycophantic suck-ups who smile through your teeth at the Badgers, please leave us in peace. Please go. Stop smiling. It's not a joke. Please leave. The party's over. Get out.
Thank you, Norman. Owen, clip that. Let's get that out on Twitter immediately. Bruce, Norman, Wayne, out in Utah. That was absolutely fantastic, and I can't take all the credit. I appreciate, again, your kind words about my optimism. Unfortunately, my bet on the over still won't cash because I bet over 5.5. And now that I'm covering this team, this was before I started covering the team journalistically. I don't think I can bet on the team anymore now that I cover them. So unfortunately, my only bets on the Badgers will have been losses. But that's okay. Moving forward, trying to be optimistic. Appreciate the kind words. But again, it's not all me. I would give more credit to the Army that you speak of. I think they are the real heroes out there, the real soldiers in this fight for the Wisconsin Badgers and the positivity moving forward in the Luke Fickell era. And you mentioned the recruits. I believe Amari Latimer was in the house.
He was.
Four-star running back.
Yep.
Where there were a lot of rumblings that he's going to flip to Ohio State. Man, I saw pictures during the break of all the recruits shirtless again right next to the student section. Like, oh my gosh, that's fantastic. How can you see this? How can you see what Luke Fickell is building? Especially the texters have talked about it. We've talked about it. Built up by the youth. The young guys providing the spark for this team. How can you see that as a recruit and not be amped about coming to the University of Wisconsin? That's not even bringing into the fold the amazing city that Madison is, the amazing campus, all the amazing opportunities academically and socially you're provided with here. Just from a purely football standpoint, I don't understand how anyone could see that and want to flip. and not want to come to the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I hope all of them lock in their commitments this week, especially Amari Latimer at running back. Would be pretty sweet.
Would be nice.
Ben Novak's going to flip back to Wisconsin, too. Come on. Same with Jaden Pettit, too, from Oklahoma. He's coming back. They're all coming back. and we'll take them because we're forgiving.
Norman.
Anything else, Norman?
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Hey.
Thank you guys again. Guys, have a great night. Keep it up.
Appreciate it,
Splendid
Norman.
as always, Norman. You're the best. Take care.
You too.
Appreciate you calling in, Norman. You can call in on the Carbless Talk and text line. We will be staying up late. Don't you worry. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and text line. List is more. Man, oh man. Norman said it. There ain't no more room on the bandwagon. You might be able to get in. You might be able to get a ticket, maybe a standing room only, maybe on standby, but you better hurry up because it's going to be leaving soon if this Badger team keeps rolling along like this for the future. It's feeling pretty good.
The train has left the station.
Oh, it's left.
It's
It's
full,
gone.
It's full steam ahead. I don't think it's making any more stops. You're going to have to jump on while it's rolling.
While it's rolling. While it is rolling. We got to figure this out too. I got to figure out on the jump around. I think we were pretty confident when we did the schedule game. I want to go back and find the clip because I was very, very confident from the beginning that this Illinois upset was going to happen. And I just maybe have a little bit of my moment. It might be a little bit of an I told you so, but it is what it is.
We're going to have to check the tape.
We'll have to check the tape. On the other side, we will be talking about the Chalmers Jewelers drive of the game. I think I might have something in mind.
We finally have multiple touchdown drives, too, to choose from.
First time.
So rare. First time since Alabama. And for that drive of the game, we just did my drive down to Tuscaloosa. So
thank you for putting in those miles.
Thank you. Of course,
Thank you for your
anytime.
service.
It was truly a difficult, honorable task, driving down to enjoy a game in one of the better venues in college football. But also, you bring up that Alabama game. I mentioned this in the opening segment, that Wisconsin beat the hell out of Illinois. And Alabama does something fun that I appreciate. I really respect the football tradition down in T-Town. And one of the things they do after every win, they sing a song called Yellow Jammer, or Rammer Jammer Yellow Hammer. It's also the name of a specialty drink at a bar down in Tuscaloosa, which I had a couple, actually. They're very delicious.
Okay.
But they have a song, Rammer Jammer Yellow Hammer, Alabama, or then they yell the team name, so we had to hear it twice the past 2 seasons. Blank, we just beat the hell out of you. So today, the Badgers, they could have sang that song afterwards. Rammer, Jammer, Yellow Hammer, hey Illinois, we just beat the hell out of you. It was fantastic.
Love the energy here. The Chalmers Jewelers drive of the game coming up next here on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk. Also, make sure it looks like we get some more texts in coming in late on the Carbless Talk and text line too.
Okay.
844-770-3776. Hit us up. Hit us up on the late line. It's okay. It's all right to send us a text.
Night's still young.
And the night is
Bar
still...
closes for another 2.5 hours.
Barstool Big Cat apparently has been funding one of the bars out on
couple
State
grand
Street.
he sent for free drinks. I bet they're all gone.
I
bet they're all
100%.
gone within probably 15 minutes.
First come, first serve. I wonder who would be that person too to be like, let me just run up the whole $2,000 tab.
$2,000, you say? Mega mules to
Please.
this table nonstop until that money's gone.
Bottles of champagne to my booth, please. Bring your finest bubblies to us.
I can't wait to see the locker room videos from today from the Badgers.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real,
awesome.
real
Obviously, no champagne coming. No championship was won today, but it's still gonna be awesome.
Well, it took Fickell a minute because we have the TVs on in here too. We were watching Big Ten Network and we saw Bret. Bret spoke to the media pretty quickly, understandably after a loss, regardless. But it took Luke Fickell at least, I want to say, almost 20 minutes after the game. I mean, probably how long was he on the field? How long was everybody else? Also, you could see on the ESPN Madison Instagram. Shout out to our content teammate Lauren Haney, who did an awesome job getting Rico Holman to reply to all of the fans on ESPN Madison and the ESPN Wisconsin accounts. That's legit. So go see that. So want to give her a shout out for that. And just, again,
kicking ass. No other way to put it. You love to see it. Our friends, too, at Liberty Station are running a game day shuttle program during home games this football season. For just $20, get a Coors Light and a round-trip ride to Camp Randall. It all starts at Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse, located off the Beltline on Rimrock Road. Not too far from me. I love it. It's an easy drive. Sometimes if I'm coming home from the station and just driving in, I'm like, you know what I really love? The brisket grilled cheese with the tomato bisque soup.
That sounds pretty delicious.
Chef's kiss.
My dad called in earlier. He was telling me after the pregame show at the tailgate that he just took a massive pile of that barbecue of Liberty Station that we had at our tailgate. Oh my gosh, so good. So good. So good. So good. Whoever wants to get us some midnight snack, too, please do not be shy. Pablo Iglesias,
My
Riley
Venmo
Yauk
is
here.
at Riley Yauk, Jauch. Don't Venmo me.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're going to get requests, so make sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be.
Well, you can also Venmo Riley Yauk if you'd like. He put his tag out there.
I'm good. You don't need to. But if you want, I'm not going to complain.
Why not? 844-770-3776, the Carbon Stock and Text line. List is more, too, if you also want to get into the show. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
'Tis the season to be planning your holiday events. Whether it's a party for 10 or 10,000, Celebrations has the sound, video, lighting, special effects, and custom-themed decor to make it the best party ever. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With us on your team, your holiday or New Year's party will be easy to plan and super fun to attend. DJs, casino games, lighting, and photo booths are just the beginning at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? For a limited time at TPC Wisconsin, enjoy full golf privileges and all club amenities without full dues. Pay just $150 per month through March to maintain your full golf membership with no golf dues until April 1st. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Schedule a tour or submit a membership inquiry at tpcwisconsin.com and start enjoying the private golf club experience you deserve. That's tpcwisconsin.com.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we create strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. We've invested heavily in client-friendly software so your assets and plan progress are available to view in one place at any time. Whether you prefer only the high-level information or enjoy the intricate details of the planning process, we've got you covered. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Your family's safety is your responsibility, and it starts with a solid roof. When the next storm rips through and takes some of your shingles with it, call Badgerland Exteriors. Or looking to replace your whole roof but don't want to break the bank? Let the team at Badgerland Exteriors give you a free, no obligations estimate.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit badgerlandexteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's badgerlandexteriors.com.
Looking to buy your next home or ready to sell and move on to bigger and better things? What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Don't be left out in the cold this season. Let's get housed. Nobody knows what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get started. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Open daily for lunch and dinner, Liberty Station serves American comfort food with regional touches using many locally sourced ingredients. The bar at Liberty Station offers vintage cocktails created in a classic style, local craft beers, plus a wide array of wine options. And be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area. Liberty Station, conveniently located just off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
Jordan Love was not the MVP candidate he was through the first 2 weeks yesterday.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe.
I think he's a good quarterback. I think he has the potential to be a top 5 quarterback. But when you make decisions like he did yesterday on that interception throw, that's what prevents you from going from good to great.
Live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also available on the ESPN Wisconsin app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Buying a new vehicle should be exciting, and that's what Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb aims to do. That's why they vow to give you the better buying experience. Jim Rutledge here. I've had 3 better buying experiences at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb, and I keep on going back because the experience and the Chevy is fantastic. So if you're looking for a buying experience you're going to want to repeat anytime you need a new or new-to-you vehicle, I recommend you make the short drive out to Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb, because you're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
We're on Badgers volleyball.
Near the net, Carter Booth, two-hand slam in the middle.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
21 kills for Collier.
Your home for UW volleyball. 100.5 ESPN.
Madison, Wisconsin is as good as it gets.
It's all about the Badgers. Go Badgers! Go Badgers!
Games like this is what really separates college football from everything else.
That was J.J. Watt, and what a story this young man is. Gordon again! What a performance by Melvin Gordon! And the pass rush gets home for the Badgers. Camp Randall lets it roar.
An unrivaled fan base. The best college sports town in the world. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Woo! 27-10. The late night party continues here at the Everlight Solar Studio. Pablo Iglesias, a karaoke singing Riley Yauk right now because the vibes are absolutely immaculate
Lights
right
ain't
now.
going out anytime soon.
That's right. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk here live from the Everlight Solar Studio. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day After Dark. You love to see it. The post-game show, Wisconsin taking it to them. Take that for hashtag Karma Bret. Taking down number 21 Illinois the final score 27-10. Almost said 20-10. Almost shaved off a touchdown. They earned that extra touchdown. And we will get to a little bit later the Chalmers drive of the game. We'll talk about, Riley and I what we thought the big drives were of this game. But sounds like the Carbless Talking text line is buzzing. So we got to welcome in all the way from the Rocket Land, Nick from Neenah joining us on the Carbless Talking text line. Nick, what's poppin', man?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Nick.
What's up?
Nick, before you get started, how excited and then pissed were you when Matt Young, former Neenah Rocket, had an interception and then it was taken away from him by this bogus refereeing crew?
You know what? I thought the officiating on that was a little suspect. We all saw the ball hit the ground in the stadium, and they quickly put the ball down for them to continue play. So a little suspect on the officiating, but that's not why we're here. The real question is Carter Smith. I seem to see he throws the ball very efficiently east-west down the field, but not enough north-south. Curious, what is your thoughts on him being the guy for 2026?
I'm still straightforward. I'm still with it. I think you need to develop him, but this is going to be a big spring for him. I liked what I saw in fall camp. By no means did I expect us to be in this situation by any means. I did not think that we would be reaching our fourth-string quarterback and then bringing in Hunter Simmons a little bit to take some snaps today, too. To be in this position, no, I did not expect us to be there. But I do think that you have to at least consider rolling with him. I'm still on the train that he could be the guy. He could be the guy that you build around because, again, it's the developmental situation here. And I'm not saying that this is you, Nick. I'm saying more from a bigger picture where people are saying that, hey, he doesn't look that great or he's not flashy on the stats. His passing numbers aren't that great. He's more of a running quarterback. We have to look at it from this side, too, is that we can't have the cake and eat it, too. If you're calling for the true freshman to play and you're trying to get something, trying to spark some type of hope, too, that you are also asking a true freshman to come in and play in his first few games of college football right off the bat. Again, there has to be some more polish. Again, is he ready to go for next season? We'll see. But to answer your question, I'm still with it. I think that you have to at least give him a chance. Make sure that you really focus this upcoming spring, too, because, well, heck, you still have one more week to really prove himself and see exactly what he could be. This might be an audition for next season. I think that's very fair to say that this is an audition for next season on whether or not that they truly want to move forward with Carter Smith being the guy that can lead this room, maybe add some competition, but ultimately, yeah, this is your guy. This is the future. This is the guy that you recruited. This is the guy that Michigan wanted. This is the guy that you flipped and is like, all right, he believes in Wisconsin's mission. You got to do him right and try to invest a little bit more in him, whether it's development, whether it's resources, players, all those situations. You got to at least consider it.
Yeah, Nick, to jump in on this real quick, to address the deep balls, I definitely see where you're coming from, and I think one of the biggest areas he needs to improve on, he's a very talented runner. He's shown leadership capabilities, has a lot of moxie, and the offense clearly respects him, and the coaching staff respects him. However, he needs to put more zip on his balls, in my opinion. He lollipopped a couple, even on some shorter routes, led to Lance Mason getting popped multiple times. There was an out route where he got hit hard, ended up being a first down, but still, if you put a little more juice on the ball, he's getting the first down, he's able to run up field easy. And then I understand there was pressure in his face, but on that trickeration where they did a double reverse flea flicker pass, and he hit Lance Mason, a beautiful ball. However, if he just puts a little more on it, maybe a little bit farther down the field where he's able to angle his body outside a little more, can protect the ball from the hit. He doesn't drop it. So there's definitely areas I need to work on, and I think he's a very promising prospect. And I think if it was any other era of college football, we talked about this with Evan Cohen, that he's unquestioned your starter heading into next year. You develop him. He's a redshirt sophomore, so he still has 4 years left of eligibility. And you go from there. But I think in such a prove-it year with a more manageable schedule for Luke Fickell and Chris McIntosh, unless he wows against Minnesota, I think you have to attack the portal at least a little bit. You have to at least bring in someone to compete with Carter Smith, a Billy Edwards-type quarterback who can take the reins and be the guy if Carter Smith doesn't show that improvement and doesn't show that progress. So me and Pablo don't totally see eye to eye here. We're not totally off, but we're not in total agreement either, so I'm interested in hearing where you stand on it, because next year you can't, if Carter Smith isn't ready yet, you can't roll into next season with him at the helm. They need to win probably more than 7 football games next year for Luke Fickell and Chris McIntosh to feel like they're 100% safe and 100% made the right call moving forward.
Well, listen, guys, I really appreciate the time tonight. I think he throws the ball really effectively and with some zip east-west. Now, I feel it may be on the coaching that we're holding the reins back on him a little bit. But it seems like, when we want to push the ball down the field, we take him out.
Yep, bring in Hunter Simmons.
If that's going to be our guy for 2026, maybe we give him those opportunities to move that ball down the field.
Yeah, I think you're right, Nick. I totally agree. I'd love to see him push it down the field a little more. And he got a couple opportunities today, just like he got a couple last week. But, yeah, I'm in agreement. I'd like to see it more. Give him a shot. And I think that does speak to the coaching staff. I don't think they trust him yet. Jeff Grimes got very exotic with his rushing attack today, and that kept the Illinois defense off balance, and Carter Smith did just enough through the air. I would like to see him push it. And I think next week, Minnesota, their defense gave up 38 points to Northwestern today. If there's an opportunity for Carter Smith to get a little wild, it's next week against the Golden Gophers. So I think that'd be fun.
Just seeing it right now, too, their quarterback had 305 yards. So do we expect Carter Smith to have those numbers? Probably not, but there's a chance. There's a chance. Nick, you got anything else for us?
No, just, let that air raid offense fly.
Let it fly.
Bringing it back. Bringing it back, says Nick and Nina.
Nick and
Thank
Nina.
you for the call.
Appreciate your time, Nick.
Take care.
All right, that was Nick and Nina on the Carlos Saga text line.
I don't know if we need to go all the way back to the air raid offense. I think Wisconsin did a pretty great job today rushing for over 200 yards.
You love to see that.
Good to focus on that moving forward. But I do want to see Carter Smith air it out a little more, but I'd rather win 27-10 while running the ball down Illinois' throat than get experimental today and lose to Illinois because Carter Smith threw 2 picks.
I stand with it where it's, again, you don't have the finished product by all means, and you know that going into it. I mean, there is the chance for him to develop. There is that chance for him to grow. He's a young guy. I think his dad is a baseball player, too, in the Atlanta Braves organization. Yeah. So we know he could sling that pill. Maybe it's just a confidence thing. Again, this isn't a perfect guy like right off the bat, but you know what? I love the competitive nature that he has. I love that. One, it's everybody could say all the things of like, oh, I'm a competitor, I do this, but in the few games, in his second career start, Carter Smith has come into 3 games, has played 3 games for this Badgers team, and has shown that he has fight, he has grit, he is showing in any type of way that he is going to do whatever he can to help this Wisconsin Badger team win a game. He is going to do it. He doesn't have to be the guy he wants. If it's making everybody else look good and try to do what he can. I wish that flea flicker too that they pulled off.
That would have been nice.
That would have been sick. Because was it to Lance Mason?
Lance Mason, yep.
It looked like he almost had it in double coverage. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little scared because the ball did not look like the best.
And that's where I think if he just puts a little more on it, gets it there a little quicker, Mason can kind of tuck it, cover up a little bit, absorb the hit better. Where he caught it, and right as he catches it, right as he's attempting to secure it, it gets popped by the safety. So it is what it is.
Perhaps that just comes with more reps.
Yes, exactly.
That's
he's a freshman. He's a true freshman. This dude's 18, 19 years old. Like, I'm not expecting him to be fantastic. But in a make-or-break season, that's something you got to consider moving forward. I mean, he's got a lot of gusto, that's for sure. And as our producer, Owen Dimfeld, chimed in, he's got 2 field storms under his belt already, which is a pretty good ratio. That's starts to field storms.
That's pretty nice. And how we got to this, let's jump into the Chalmers Jewelers drive of the game and how we ended up getting to this point as Wisconsin wins in the 27-10 decision over Illinois.
It's the drive of the game.
He's got the corner, and the Badgers touchdown answers quickly.
On ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
The Badgers punctuating and pulling away.
The drive of the game is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers, helping guys score for more than 25 years.
Yeah, that is it's the Chalmers Jewelers drive of the game. And Riley, I'm going to go with the easy one here. Right off the bat, Wisconsin driving downfield in their first offensive possession, and it ends on a Vinny Anthony touchdown. And man, I'm just so happy for him too because of the getting to know him over these last few years too. He's a senior. We talked about Darrell Peterson and how he balled out in his final game here at Camp Randall Stadium. Vinny Anthony, it's his senior day too, and man, he's done a lot. Or I believe it was his senior, or maybe I'm not sure.
What? Yeah, Vinny Anthony. Yeah, it was his senior night. Yes,
it is his senior night. So yes, either way, he's been a guy who's gone through it too. And for him to get to do that, and you just felt that jubilation when he was running into the end zone again. But the big reason why I picked that is also because of the time of possession, 9 minutes and 30 seconds, 16 plays, 80 yards. That is good. That was just perfect because, again, you get your offense on that field, you're not rushing it. From there, it's every other offensive possession. I think the longest one from there was 4 minutes and 3 seconds, just another, which actually was a punt. That drive ended up on a punt. So 9 minutes and 30 seconds to eat up that much clock in a game that's crucial, where you got to get it into the win column. That's my drive of the game. The first one that puts Wisconsin on the board, that's legit.
Yeah, that set the tone. That was Wisconsin football to a T. Smash mouth football, run it down your throat. We're going to manhandle you, and that's what the Badgers did the entire game. My Chalmers Jewelers drive of the game, I'm going to go with the exact opposite. You have a 9.5-minute drive. I'm going to go with the 10-second drive. 2 plays, 84 yards, 84-yard touchdown run from Darian Dupree. And I've been clamoring since week 3, I think, for the Badgers to have a playmaker. Could someone please step up? Please take charge. Have an explosive play, for crying out loud. And we have been missing that all season. Even in the game against Washington, didn't really have any explosives. Against Indiana, we had the one with Lance Mason on 4th and 1, which is awesome. But today, up 10-7 already, Darian Dupree came into the season with high expectations and busts off an 84 74-yard touchdown run. First rush of 20-plus yards for a running back this season for the Badgers. First 100-yard rushing performance since Tawee Walker last year against Northwestern. Darian Dupree, finally a big play for the Badgers. Finally a potential playmaker moving forward. And you can't forget Eugene Hilton with the big sell during it. That replay was fantastic. Excellent camera work as Eugene Hilton acts like he's catching the football, leads his defender completely away from Dupree, and just gave him an entire expanse of open grass to run on into the end zone.
The youth, man, the youth of this team, they are just...
That's some veteran savvy, too.
Massively. Well, it helps when your dad's been in the league for a little bit, too, I will have to say. Probably taught him a little bit. But still, regardless, the youth on this Wisconsin Badgers team and what's to come, they're showing a lot of promise. So with that, shout out to Darian Dupree, too. A proud brown and white brother of mine, too. Go Caravan, baby. You know I got to put that plug in there. This has been the Chalmers Jewelers Drive of the Game. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauke. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. We'll take a quick breather here, but before, I want to talk to you about Pizza Hut, and Pizza Hut is delivering a win every time with the big dinner box. Celebrate. Why not? I think Pizza Hut's still open. Well, it feels like it's a lot later, and it's not even midnight yet. You could get a Pizza Hut. You could get
I hope
call
so.
in.
We got to check.
Pizza Hut delivers a win every time with a big dinner box, just $19.99. That's 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Feed the whole team for the unbeatable price. Find the nearest location or order online at pizzahut.com. Feed good times only from the Hut. We'll talk some more text, too, on the Carlos Talking text lines. Looks like it's starting to blow up a little bit more in this late hour. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk. We also got a scoreboard update from 0-2. We'll see what the national games sound like over there. It looks like there's some good ones going down. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Madison's financial challenges need a Dane County-based bank. Starion Bank is a full-service community bank that delivers quality big bank services with a local approach. We are proud to be there for any budding entrepreneur or small businesses, helping them exceed their financial goals from banking to lending to cash management. Visit a banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, taking you farther.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. With a legacy of excellence and an extensive selection of quality Ford vehicles, it's the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at metrofordofmadison.com. That's metrofordofmadison.com. Or visit them on the east side of Madison today.
It's all about the green and gold and nonsense on Kyle, Brust, and Nordman.
We're obviously discussing this Green Bay Packers team and the inconsistencies, and if you believe that it's fixable in the middle of the season.
Hashtag Team Kyle. I saw it on YouTube. Hashtag Team Kyle. I love it.
Kyle, Brust, and Nordman. Presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, a special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Want to move better, play faster, and compete at a higher level? Train where Wisconsin's top athletes go. Total Athlete Performance. From middle school phenoms to the pros, TAP is Madison's #1 destination for speed, power, and athleticism. Their proven systems, expert coaches, and cutting-edge equipment help you dominate your sport. Can't make it in? Train anywhere with the TAP mobile app. Spots are filling fast, so don't wait. Visit tapwisconsin.com to schedule your free athletic assessment today.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing zero sugar cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
We're on the Badgers.
This is where probably the program mindset has to change.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
What we probably have to do is ante up for unproven and bet on future success, not on past.
This is 100.5 ESPN.
Used to keep it cool, used to be a fool, all about the bounce in my step. Watch it on the news, what you gonna do? I could hit refresh and forget.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealer. Whether you need to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford, Metro Ford is your place to go. Visit Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today or go to their website, metrofordofmadison.com, to see this month's special and browse their inventory. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk here live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. And Riley, it's time for us to take a step aside and toss it to our producer, the man behind the glass, Owen Dimple, with your scoreboard update.
Bang,
What's
bang.
up, Owen?
From L.A. to Piscataway, this is your college football scoreboard update, driven by Metro Ford of Madison.
Great day, especially with the Badgers win. It's always good when you can have one of them.
Truly,
we haven't had
yes,
many of them, so
sir.
you got to relish in it. But a big day around the Big Ten as we go around. Ohio State, big victory over Rutgers, 42-9. Oregon and USC, a great game. A lot of college football playoff implication on the line. 42-27. Oregon gets the win over USC. It's going to be hard for the Trojans to find a way in. And we go to Michigan and Maryland, a 45-20 victory for the victors, Michigan Wolverines.
Hell.
Northwestern beats Minnesota 38-35. Iowa over Michigan State 20-17. And how about Penn State 37-10 over the Nebraska Cornhuskers? Who had that on their bingo card today?
Oof, I did not.
I did pick Penn State in the pregame show. I might have come back to beat Brad Nortman in our picks. We'll see.
Did you where are you at in the standings with that, too?
Let's let Owen finish his scoreboard update. Then I'll update.
And also, we do have a game going on right now.
What?
Little former Pac-12 after dark action.
Ooh.
Washington and UCLA. Currently a 27-0 lead for the Huskies. They're trying to bounce back after they lost at Camp Randall just a couple weeks ago. So yeah,
Metro
27-0.
Ford of Madison, Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Learn more at metrofordofmadison.com.
Good use of the bye week for Washington, for sure.
San Diego State and San Jose State going at it, too, 18-3.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There are a few games going on right now, too.
A little Mountain West action. I got to see BYU Cincinnati. Do we have a final
BYU
for
Cincy?
BYU Cincinnati? This has major, major implications for who is wearing a Paul Bunyan costume next week on the pregame show. Owen, hit me.
BYU 26, Cincinnati 14.
Oh, no. Oh, no, I think I picked the Bearcats, which would mean I have 2 points for Wisconsin. Brad has none. I'm up 2-0. I need to make up. I was down 3. Then we both picked Georgia Tech. Neither of us were right. So Georgia Tech, so we're still at 2-0. Then he picked BYU. I picked Cincinnati. 2-1. He's still up 2 points on me. And then I picked Penn State. He picked Nebraska. So it looks like I'm probably wearing
just
a Paul
watching
Bunyan
you
costume next week.
Just watching you in real time play out this, what feels like is probably going to be some disarray. Just that moment. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of fun.
That's devastating. I thought I had done enough. This is highly unfortunate, but at least it's not me having Mertzy threw out the potential punishment of having to wear Minnesota gear, taking
That's
a picture
worse.
in it, and then pinning it to the top of my Twitter profile for a year, a whole season until next year. And I was like, hell no, we cannot do that. I refuse to do that. I don't want to put on any Minnesota gear ever, let alone get a picture taken in it, let alone have that on my profile, my public profile, for a year. 365 days, no shot. I can wear a Paul Bunyan costume for a show. That'll be fun.
Luckily, next year, or hopefully, it wouldn't have been. It doesn't matter anyway. If it was a leap year, that'd be 366. So you get one extra day to have to do it. You'd probably look all right in a Paul Bunyan costume.
Yeah,
though.
I think I can pull that off. I need the replica axe. That would be sick.
See, that would be sick. That would be sick. Speaking of threads, I think we might have given some Wisconsin some good juju. I'm wearing a Rose Bowl sweatshirt. You got the Ron Dane sweatshirt.
Yeah, we got the Ron Dane, Daryl Bevel jersey, crew neck today.
The goats.
Just got this new hat.
That's a sweet
too.
hat.
Thank you. I picked it up today. I was like, I need a new hat, a nice new hat, and it worked. It worked. We brought the swag to the Badgers today, but
Owen Dimple wants to talk about his get up. Owen, what did you just say? I know you said this more. You wanted to talk to us about this. Let the people at home know what your outfit looked like today.
I'm just wearing an all-black hoodie. It was Illinois' funeral today, along with Bret Bielema.
Damn right. Fat Albert's heading back to Champaign, a little fatter and a little sadder after eating some cheese curds and drinking some beer this weekend and eating a big fat loss.
Hashtag karma is all I will say. Hashtag karma. Wisconsin taking down Illinois 27-10 in a very convincing fashion. Luke Fickell in his opening statement even saying that is exactly what complimentary football looks like at its finest. And he's very proud of that performance. You could tell there wasn't a big smile on his face necessarily, but it's not like that he wasn't happy. You could feel the sense of relief. Usually I'm in those rooms for post-game. And you could tell when he's stressed, when he's tense, or when he's relieved. I could tell just from watching the video stream that he is relieved beyond belief. And that can just be a great thing for this program. Again, there's still a lot of things that they need to do in this offseason, but I'm excited to see what happens. 844-770-3776, the Cardinals Talk and Text line. List is more. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk here. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Jumping on to the Talk and Text line, too. We got a few texts here. Joe and the Boonies, how about that win, fellas? This feels for real, and I think we got a good shot next week. I feel like that, too. We also got Andrew texted in from the Green Bay area. Something, and I think this is interesting, something that I think is being overlooked is the fact that the Badgers should win next week against Minnesota. We're all down for that. Mm-hmm. There is a potential that the Badgers could still play in a bowl game. I know that we've been writing it off. Don't get me wrong, just because you know that the 6 wins are there. At the beginning of the season, I never would have thought, specifically after the Maryland game, on Wisconsin. Thank you for that, Andrew, because, yes, it's an outsider's you're still on the outside looking in. Maybe there's a shot. Maybe there's a team that, because we've seen even the teams that are 6-7 wins or whatever it is. I did not mean to say 6-7 like that. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you for doing that back there, Owen. I appreciate you doing the 6-7 dance for those listening on 100.5. I want to say it's just like, again, maybe there is a shot, but I think you do risk. Don't you risk losing the red shirt with Carter Smith?
I'm not sure if bowls count against a red shirt. I don't think they do. I'm not 100% sure, though. And, I mean, yeah, there's a chance. I don't know. I've tried to look it up a couple times. I think I just need to comb through, like, every college football team and what their record's at, how likely
academics.
Are they. Yep. And it's going to come down to, are there enough 6-6 teams to fill the bowl games? And then if not, the 5-7 teams get ranked based on APR, academic progress rate. Last year, I think the Badgers had the second or third highest academic progress rate.
Yep.
I know it was behind Cincinnati.
How ironic.
Yeah, it was funny. I can't remember if Cincinnati went bowling or not. But yeah, like some things are going to have to bounce the Badgers' way if they want to go bowling. I will say, if that happens, and the Badgers luck into a bowl despite a 5-7 year, that would be awesome, because think of how much more practice you get for all those young guys. The Carter Smiths, Atuka may be able to get healthy and have some more practices. Mason Posa, if he's all right after tonight, he gets to practice. Cooper Catalano, Eugene Hilton Jr. That was where, a few years ago in the ReliaQuest Bowl, where we really first saw the emergence of a Trech Kahuna.
Just about to say.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Yeah. So I think that would be really, I'm not banking on it, but it would be a really nice bonus and a huge cherry on top to this year if they were able to get awarded a bowl game.
It's a nice what-if scenario. Again, you still need to focus on next week. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, there's a lot of good
throttle.
There's a lot of good confidence going into this one, especially after that loss that Minnesota had against Northwestern, and whoever their quarterback is for the Wildcats going 300 yards. It looks like he's a dual threat there. Why not? It's funny, though, too. A couple weeks ago, Craig Karmazin, our CEO and founder of Good Karma Brands, I remember he even laughed when we were talking about the Badgers and bowl game, and he said, "Did I hear Badger and bowl game in the same sentence?" I feel like that same sentiment is almost being said right now. But you know what? Maybe there's a chance. But the fact that we're even talking about this legitimately, we kind of said it a little bit more of the joking side of like, hey, Washington, that's a big win. Can the Badgers go from here and win out? But hey, they're not going to win out, but there's a chance that they go like 3-1 or 2-1 after this. It's looking pretty good. Either way, right now in this very moment, celebrate at Madison. Keep enjoying the night. I'm sure the night is very, very young, even though we have just passed midnight here at the Everlight Solar Studio here in Madison. But man, it's just good vibes across the board, Riley.
Just good
stuff.
I'm feeling fantastic, and I'm going through some of these YouTube comments here. Michael Hartzell, 5855, that this reminds him of the Badgers' upset over Ohio State in 1984, going all the way back to the 80s. Granted, the Badgers would still be bottom of the barrel for quite some time in the 80s, but still good to hear that historical perspective. Then we had Jeff Ostach, if he's still tuning in. Correct me if I'm mispronouncing your name. Ostach. Going back to getting out into the state, Luke Fickell, just winning back the fan base. Because I think bowl game or not, good vibes or not, obviously the vibes will be good today. The vibes will be even better if we beat Minnesota, get the axe back, finally have at least one trophy back in the case. But then the real work starts. You got to work on retaining this roster. You got to try and retain your recruits, maybe flip a couple others from other schools if you're interested in that. But then you got to win back the people that still don't believe. You got to win back the Parker Dutchers of the world who don't think Bucky's back, who need to see a little more. And Jeff mentioned in Brett's first season in 2006, he attended the Milwaukee W Club gathering where Bret Bielema was front and center. That's what Fickell has to do on a regular basis. Get the heck out into the state. And this guy, and Jeff's been watching since 1967. So he's seen some Badgers football. And that's what you have to do. If you're Luke Fickell moving forward, you got to parlay this positivity into bringing in better recruits, into winning over hearts and minds of those in the state of Wisconsin. And they're doing it on the field now. Now you got to go do it. Hopefully, well, you got to finish the season first. But then you got to go do it off the field.
One step at a time, the Badgers need to do it, but it looks like that things are moving into slowly but surely moving into the right direction for these guys. And again, it's just
Evil Badger 72. Good riddance to the vest. Hoodie
That's
Fickell's
right.
different, baby. 2-0 in the military appreciation vest. He lost to Indiana in the regular Wisconsin football black vest.
But they put a good fight up. They put up a good fight.
They put up a good fight. In the first half. The vest is dead. The vest is gone. We killed it. And now Hoodie Fickell is here. Hoodie Fickell, it looks like, is here to stay. And he's dangerous.
I want to put a call out. Want to take a quick breather here, but want to put a call out, and I want to hear what you have to say too, Riley. Most satisfying Wisconsin win since. For those of you that are the late night birds and following us here,
yeah, we still got over 50
line.
Viewers on ESPN Madison.
Yeah,
we got about 20 in ESPN Milwaukee. Still great. We still got some Badgers diehards out here. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Let us know the most satisfying Wisconsin win since blank. We're going to go into history. We're going to figure this out. Riley, I can already tell you're cooking up a few.
Thinking.
I'm going to give you some more time to think about that. And I also want to talk to you about Starion Bank. Experience a banking relationship where your goals are their priority. As a community with commitment to Dane County, Starion Bank redefines local banking in the Madison area. Visit one of their convenient branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, or Monona today. Well, maybe not at this very moment today. They might be closed at this hour, unless they, who knows, maybe after hours. Or online at starionbank.com. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Young, live from the Everlight Solar Studio. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Tell us on the other side what this is the most satisfying Wisconsin win since blank. More on the other side on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Want to pay off this year's rent-a-mortgage? Feel like a real estate mogul at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison during November's Live for Free promotion. Starting at 4 p.m. on Saturday, November 29th, 24 winners will each spin the wheel for a cash prize of up to $5,000. Then at 8 p.m., one grand prize winner will pocket $25,000 in cash to use toward their rent-a-mortgage. This could be your chance, but you have to be here. Live it up this November and go to
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
When it's game day in Madison, you know what that means. Pizza Hut time. Unlimited large one-topping pizzas, just $7.99 each. Or your team at home can load them up with 3 toppings for $9.99. Perfect for kickoffs, watch parties, or that fourth quarter comeback from your living room. Fuel your crew, fill the table, and keep the good times rolling all game long with Pizza Hut. Order now for delivery or carryout at pizzahut.com or on the app. Pizza Hut. Feed good times.
Staying on Wisconsin sports never stops with the Jump Around podcast.
If you do decide to go with Carter Smith, as you mentioned too, this is the guy that they flipped from Michigan. Is he a finished product? Is he a polished product? Not exactly, but also it's like, this kid looks like he can sling the pill already as a true freshman. I know that he came in with a lot of high praise, but why not give fans some excitement right now? Why not do this? Why not just do it now?
The Jump Around podcast with Jim Rutledge and Pablo Iglesias. Streaming live every Thursday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
What's new at Zimbrick Chevrolet? A lot. A free car wash with every service, plus a brand new detail facility to keep your ride looking fresh all year long. Relax with coffee and snacks while you wait, and if you can't, grab one of their numerous service loaners, take the shuttle, or even get a lift on them. Plus, Zimbrick Chevrolet has the largest new Chevrolet inventory in southern Wisconsin, and you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet. Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
I worried about starting over. I knew I was interested in IT, specifically the cloud program, but I didn't have any technical training in that field. Now, at Madison College, I'm surprising myself. I really love the atmosphere of this campus, and my instructors make learning hands-on and engaging. My advice to others? Don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. There's more to your story at Madison College. Visit madisoncollege.edu to get started.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Hey, this is Jonathan Blackwell of Wisconsin Badgers basketball. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
On Wisconsin, 27-10 over Illinois. Bret Bielema's return to Camp Randall. Last time he was here, I was in the stands for that one. It was not a pretty situation. I will use the word that Adam Mertz used, tailspin from there. I didn't think that everything that was going to happen in that moment the day after, what a roller coaster we have been on ever since then. And for me, just being in the stands, and like I said earlier in the show too, I know fans only play a certain part of helping you win the game. Don't get me wrong, the players still got to make the plays at the end of the day, even in the game. Riley, you said it last year too. Wisconsin was in a lot of close games here, but they never were able to finish that job. But still, all in all, I felt like there was a lot of juice, and just the idea that Bret was in that building, former Wisconsin coach, and just Wisconsin fans really wanted this one. It felt like that this week, Wisconsin fans.
It was personal. I mean, Bret Bielema coming back to town, only his second time back at Camp Randall Stadium. Last time he was here, he got our coach fired.
Yeah.
So this was personal.
Personal for sure. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauch. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light. Ask you a question before we took the last break. What has been the most satisfying win, or this win for Wisconsin has been the most satisfying since? We got our diehard Parker Dutcher in the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Watching from Oklahoma.
Shout out, man. Shout out. He puts in Nebraska Big Ten Championship when everyone thought that we do not belong at 7-5.
It's a good one.
That's a good one.
However, I will dispute Parker because I think there was
You're going
a
against
more
Parker, our number one
satisfying-
fan like this?
Yes, I am. Me and Parker don't always see eye to eye. However, I think there's a mutual respect there. He's
Respect everyone, fear no one.
An avid listener, a dedicated fan, a true Badger through and through. So thank you, Parker. However, I think there was satisfying wins between now and 2012, personally. And I think this is the most satisfying win. We talked about it today. This is the first time Wisconsin has had 2 ranked wins in a season since 2019. This is the most satisfying win since the Badgers went to Minneapolis and defeated the Minnesota Golden Gophers for the right to go to the Big Ten Championship game. College Game Day was at Minnesota. Lee Corso picked Goldie Gopher for the first time ever. Minnesota, they're all freaking out. They're like, this is finally our year. PJ Fleck is taking us to the next level. Yay, yay. We're finally going to beat Big Brother Wisconsin. The axe is ours. Shut your mouth, mate. They did not. Not even close. 38-17. How about Jack Cohn? Bang. Quintez Cephas? Bang. Jonathan Taylor, in your grill all day. Sit down, Goldie. You suck. Boom. Roasted. That might be the most satisfying win of my lifetime, personally. I was so happy. It was so nice to see Minnesota get knocked down a peg. We go to the Big Ten Championship game. Minnesota's best season ever. I don't count their fraudulent national championships before sliced bread was invented in the 30s. Those don't count. Their program is a joke, an absolute debacle. This was their best season ever. And what did it end with? A loss to Wisconsin and a win in the Doritos Bowl in Birmingham, Alabama against Tulane. Nobody cares. Minnesota's irrelevant. That was such a satisfying win to finally shut all those clowns up. That was amazing. This was also satisfying. Not quite to that level, but very, very satisfying. And the most since then.
Can you do the voice again, please?
Oh, Minnesota. Oh, we're so good. PJ Fleck. Take a look at his bowl record. He's so good in bowl games because he plays MAC teams every year in bowl games. Yeah, he's Owen dip from my ear. He's so handsome. Look, he has the quarter zip and the tie. Oh, we love PJ Fleck. He sucks. Get over it, Gophers fans.
I'm crying.
Enjoy 6 wins and a crappy bowl game win in Detroit in the Game Above Sports Bowl every single season.
Hey, you were raving about going to that bowl last year.
For this one season, it'd be great for Wisconsin. It's another thing if you're going every single year at 6-6 and 7-5 at beating Eastern Michigan
and you hang the
being
banner.
Happy.
You hang the banner like you won a national championship.
Exactly. PJ Fleck got Minnesota rings for finishing as co-Big Ten West champions. What in the world?
We almost did something cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come on, man. Come on. It was so
like
satisfying beating that clown in PJ Fleck. And Bret Bielema is also a joke, but not as big of a joke as PJ Fleck.
It's almost like if Wisconsin were to put up a banner for being the basketball team picked as the national championship in the COVID year, where it's like, oh, well,
that was more legit.
The computer said it. The computer said it.
That was more legit. Yes, the BPI champions. Thank you, Owen. That was more legit in my opinion.
Shout out BPI.
Minnesota's co-Big Ten West championship. You lost. You lost the tiebreaker. It's ridiculous. I despise Minnesota. I despise PJ Fleck. I can't wait to absolutely maul them next week. My score prediction is going to be 70-0 because that's how bad Wisconsin is going to annihilate Minnesota. They're never going to want to play football again. They're going to disband the program. It's going to fold.
Parker Dutcher is very much on board. Tell us how you really feel.
I get so fired up talking about Minnesota. I hate them with a fiery passion. So while this win was satisfying and a bigger and better win than beating Minnesota next week, you have to get the axe back next week. You have to for this season to feel good.
That's the declaration right there. If you're not watching on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, I have finally recovered. We are well past midnight, and I think we're starting to get into the
fatigue.
Slap.
The fatigue is starting to hit.
We are getting into the slap happy portion of the show, so maybe it is potentially time for us to start thinking about getting some snooze in at some point. But for me, I'm just going to keep it in my window of when I've been around Madison and the Badgers that I've seen. I'm also going to go with the Minnesota win. And I think I mentioned a little earlier in the show, Luke Fickell's first win in the Axe game. It was on the road. It was to break a 2-game losing streak. I was 0-2 in the Axe game. I knew how much juice there was. May or may not had some personal ties to Minnesota that I was holding on to for a grudge. And I'm like, you know what? I want to beat Minnesota for these specific reasons. It's a little petty, but you know what? Sometimes that's what it takes. And to go 0-2 against Minnesota for those first 2 years sucked. And for Luke Fickell to go in on the road and cap off the season, they were already bowl eligible. I think it was a great Nebraska win too.
Yes,
the week
in
before,
overtime. That was fun.
That was a national game. That was a walk-off in overtime. I remember Jackson Aker on a wheel route touchdown. That was a really great design.
And I think Preston Zachman had the pass breakup to end the game.
I think it was an interception.
Yeah,
it was an interception to end the game.
I was in the student section for that one. That was a great game.
Another great senior night win. So that, for me, just knowing going into next week, too, the weight that the Axe game carries as a guy who is not from Wisconsin, a guy who covered the team over these last 5, give or take, years, getting to know, as Riley has described it, with his, was that Mickey Mouse?
I didn't even know. I just started doing it. Mickey Mouse, Fleck. I'm PJ Fleck. I'm going to crowd surf in my locker room after I beat a Division II school. I don't even know. I don't know any Division II schools. Like, it's a joke.
Can you talk like that for the rest of the show?
No,
Do you think you have it in you?
I have it in me. I could, but I'm not going to subject our still 52 listeners tuning into that. We've hit that point in the evening. I just appreciate that they're still listening. They've handled this voice.
Well, it looks like Parker's gone to sleep according to the
Parker's
YouTube
going.
channel.
It's probably time for us to wrap it up here soon. So thank you, Parker. Thank you for all. There's still 50 of you out there listening, so really appreciate it.
We appreciate you. We hope you're celebrating safely too, but celebrating this great night in Wisconsin Badgers football. I mean, will it go down in a big historical win? Maybe, maybe not. But either way, at the end of the day, this is a fun one for all of us. Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk here. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. We'll take a quick breather. Want to talk about what we learned and what we confirmed to wrap things up with with the show. But before we take that breather, I want to tell you again, ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day is presented by Coors Light. When you need to refresh on game day, or if you're going out right now and enjoying yourself, celebrating this big Wisconsin win, choose a beer that's as cold as the Rockies. Cold filtered, cold lager, and cold package for peak refreshment. When the mountains are blue, Riley, you know what to do.
And that is crush a Coors Light.
Crush as many as you can right now.
Crush a Coors Light.
2025 Coors Brewing Company. Golden, Colorado. Goodness, we have reached that time of the night. We're talking about what we learned and what we learned and what we confirmed. Hopefully, we can regroup and regather. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, service, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Start your career where the road to success is paved in coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. We're now hiring crew members and hourly shift leaders at our locally owned locations. Dunkin' offers flexible schedules, employee discounts, health and dental benefits, and paid time off. Plus, bolster your resume with our own leadership training program and even scholarship opportunities. Up to $1,500 per semester. Text Team Spirit to 85000 or visit teamtmart.com/careers to apply. Dunkin', America runs on you.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. With a legacy of excellence and an extensive selection of quality Ford vehicles, it's the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at metrofordofmadison.com. That's metrofordofmadison.com. Or visit them on the east side of Madison today.
Electric bills are out of control, but with federal incentives, you can go solar with zero upfront cost and start saving hundreds a month. Badgerland Exteriors and Solar is a local and family-owned company, and they make the switch to solar simple. No pressure, no hassle, just honest.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit badgerlandexteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's badgerlandexteriors.com.
We love the Packers. We bleed green and gold. And every time our team takes the field, well, it's pure football bliss. If only there was a way to experience that blissful winning feeling every day. At Associated Bank, we've got you with 10% off Lambeau concessions and 15% off Pro Shop merch. All when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank. It's how Packers fans keep winning on game day and every day. Associated Bank, Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Want to move better, play faster, and compete at a higher level? Train where Wisconsin's top athletes go. Total Athlete Performance. From middle school phenoms to the pros, TAP is Madison's #1 destination for speed, power, and athleticism. Their proven systems, expert coaches, and cutting-edge equipment help you dominate your sport. Can't make it in? Train anywhere with the TAP mobile app. Spots are filling fast, so don't wait. Visit tapwisconsin.com to schedule your free athletic assessment today.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get a house. For over 30 years, Bruner Realty has been providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area. Contact their team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get started today. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. I think Stacy was in the office a couple weeks ago.
He was.
I did not know this. Former Bucky as well?
Former Bucky
That's
Badger,
so dope.
Stacy Bruner.
How many push-ups do you think he did when he was there?
A ton.
Good.
Back in the day?
Yeah.
I mean, Bucky crowd surfed today. That was pretty sick.
That was nice. You love to see it. I loved every aspect of it. The fact that this senior class now, too, is going to have two field storming moments. You could poo-poo on it no matter what. Does not matter.
Those are special. Those are special. Let the kids have fun. This is for all the students, the players, and those in the stands. Like, this is special. Like, this is college. You live for those moments. I haven't seen as many people be critical about it this week. Like, this is just fun. It's part of the college experience. It's been a rough season. Let the kids have fun. And it was just awesome. Like, everyone at that stadium is going to remember this for the rest of their lives. And they're going to tell the story. Me and my friends still talk about, where were you when Chucky Hepburn banked that 3 to win the Big Ten on that court storm? Like,
what a night that was.
Did you storm the court against Iowa, even though that was a pretty lame win to storm the field on? It was after COVID. Everyone's like, did you storm the field against Iowa? Like, that was so awesome. Or were you there for the first jump around against Penn State back from COVID? Like, these are the things you talk about and remember for the rest of your life. So I love that they stormed the field.
Pablo Iglesias, Riley Alk, we are wrapping things up, too. If you missed it in the last segment, we probably got to clip it at some point, too. Riley brought out the Mickey Mouse voice, which was hilarious, don't get me wrong, on a Minnesota rant. That, I will say, went pretty lengthy, but it was a great one.
PJ Fleck sucks.
We will look ahead to the Minnesota game in a little bit, talk about what we learned and what we confirmed here on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. But, man, just Mark Tauscher, too, yesterday with we did have ESPN unsportsmanlike host Michelle Smallman, who unfortunately, love that we gave her a lot of Madison hospitality, and we're sending her off with a nice win for Madison, but it is from the Badgers, so we appreciate everything that she's done. Thank you for the win. Thank you for being our good luck charm. And also Evan Cohen, yesterday at Bucket Honeys, he mentioned it a little bit too, was that there was a panel and Tausch talked about how this moment, even if this season went completely south after the Washington win, the seniors are always going to remember that. And even the young guys are going to remember that. It's about, it just takes one match to start that fire, man. Mm-hmm. And that's all it takes. So what we learned and what we confirmed here from this one, I would say, Riley, from this 27-10 win over Illinois, what I learned is that the young guys are ready to step up and deliver. Darian Dupree, and even though Daryl Peterson, again, one of the seniors, though, too, I just love how the young guys answered the call, and not just this week, but over the last couple weeks, too. Mm-hmm. Darian Dupree, again, like I said, to be a little bit of a homer, not going to lie, Chicago kid, he's very special. And I think it's fun to see how he was just able to have that breakout game get going. Trechka Kahuna, kind of part of that younger crew as well, I guess, in a way, but he had a good game. Carter Smith, when his number was called, early on, I'm not going to lie, it looked like that, I wouldn't say hero ball maybe. I want to take a step back at that one, but probably just doing a couple extra steps more than he needed to. But It looked like he found his rhythm. And again, like I had said when I heard in the Washington win, that he will do everything he can to help this team win. And that's what he did. That's what I learned about these young guys, and that's what I think we're going to be learning over time. And what I confirmed is that Luke Fickell is a winner. I will wholeheartedly say it like that because, yes, he came into this season without any wins against a top 25 team. I believe it was it 0-6?
Yeah,
somewhere around there. Or was
I think
it 0-7?
It got up to 0-8.
It was 0-8.
0-8 after the Oregon loss.
After the Oregon loss, or even coming before the season. But if there was any season where you needed, because again, you're down against USC on the road, or you're up rather. You have a chance at USC on the road. You have a chance against Oregon. You have a chance. Even Ohio State, too, a couple years ago.
Yeah, a few years ago, they only lost 24-10.
You had all those chances, and don't get me wrong, a win in any of those situations would have been great, but I feel like today and the Washington wins confirm that he's a winner, that this is the season where you need to get those ranked wins because your back is really up against that wall. And the fact that they came out and got 2 this season, I say he's a confirmed winner.
Yeah, I like that. And I think it's interesting that both of those wins came after Chris McIntosh came out and publicly supported Luke Fickell yet again. Did the media blitz where he stated he's our guy. He is confirmed coming back for next season. And clearly that took a weight off the shoulders, I think, of the coaching staff, of course, Luke Fickell, and of the players. They played more free. They didn't have to worry about their coach getting fired and them being the reason that their coach got fired. And they've just been playing free. They've been playing hard, and they have been playing fantastic football over these past 3 games, or past 4, really, starting with Oregon. And what I learned today is that Wisconsin is back. It is so nice. They have officially turned the corner. They're coming. They're coming, folks. Be ready next season because this team will be armed and dangerous. I'm so excited. They are violent. They believe in Luke Fickell. If you haven't seen the video on Twitter, I'm sure it's on Instagram as well, social media that Wisconsin football put out of Luke Fickell giving his post-game talk to his players, I highly recommend going and watching it. You can hear the passion in his voice. Yes, the speech by itself is great, but what I noticed is the look in those players' eyes looking up at their coach. They love Luke Fickell. They respect him. It was just so beautiful and awesome to see after what has been a roller coaster of a season. Wisconsin's back. They're violent. They believe in Luke Fickell, and they're here to stay. So get ready. Get on the train, folks. It's rolling. It's rolling. And what I confirmed is that this defense is legit, man. They have held their past 4 opponents, all ranked under their season averages. Indiana got the closest to their season averages, and they were still held under 100, over 100 yards under their total offensive output and 13 points under their usual offensive output. This defense is scary, nightmarish. Posa goes down with an injury. Christian Allegro's like, all right, I'll step back into my role with a broken arm with a club on my hand, and I'll get a big game-sealing sack at the end of it. Like, this defense is ferocious. De'Ani Hill, we haven't talked about him yet today, led the team in tackles again. He is just hitting everybody from the cornerback position. He's a senior. He was a transfer from Miami. He loves it here at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. He's been special this year and really coming to his own. Love to see him continue to do great things. The seniors, man, there's so much we could continue to say. Lance Mason, everyone, they care so deeply. But I guess what I confirmed, defense is legit. A lot of things were confirmed. A lot of things were learned today. It was awesome.
I feel like they were also doing this for one other senior, too. Nazir Forkerine.
Yep.
It felt like that they were doing this for...
screwed over.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I feel like that it's unfortunate the way that whole situation played out for Nazir Forkerine. You could even tell when Luke Fickell was asked about it earlier in the season that there was a lot of emotion behind it, and I'm sure that decision was not one that they took lightly in terms of deciding to drop the lawsuit and hopefully give Nazir a chance to play. Hopefully he balls out. He's a great guy. I remember coming into this last season that Paul Haynes gave him so much credit. So saying that it doesn't matter what level you play at. Like, he could be a baller at any type of level. And he was ready to take that jump. And he really proved himself last season. And I wish he would have been able to do that this year. It's just terrible. It sucks. There's no other way to put it. It hurts your heart because these guys care so much. And not only was it, you could see the support from fans across the board when he had put out that statement. It's just tough. It's tough to come to that decision. But what really stuck out to me was right off the bat was that his teammates came out there and supported him and showed that like this one's, we're gonna play for you because unfortunately you can't play out here with us.
Yeah,
but and we're gonna do that for you.
Yeah, and the most fired up I've seen Luke Fickell at a press conference this year is when he stood up to leave, sat back down, was like, no, I gotta say something.
Yeah,
and pounded the table literally for the NCAA to let Nazir play, for the judge to let him play, and just speak out against the complete injustice that was done to Nazir. He was fired up. Clearly, they love this guy. The whole coaching staff does, the entire team. So it sucks that he wasn't able to play on his senior night or any game this season, but man, the rest of the team showed up for him, that's for sure.
Pablo Iglesias, Riley Yauk here. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Lights, live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We're wrapping things up here after a late night, but thank you so
Almost
much.
3 hours on air tonight.
It was fun.
Just with this show. Great show.
Thank you so much for everybody that's joined us. Real quick on, here's my thing, Riley, that I want to get into as we wrap things up with Minnesota next week. I feel like there's good momentum. It feels good. My one thing that I will say before I toss it over to you, because I want to know what your thoughts are going into Minnesota, is just I don't think it's not about being complacent, but it's just more of like, don't take your foot off the gas pedal. By no means is this team taking anything for granted, and I hope that they don't get into that mindset. I really doubt that that's the case, but again, I'm not in that locker room. So focus, lock in, use this as good momentum, get that axe back. There's a rivalry game. It's a trophy game. This is a great send-off for the seniors from a home standpoint. Now go out and finish the job. Again, 5-7, maybe you're bowling in a situation where it's like you get in on a technicality. That's dope. But either way, I think if this team locks in, really appreciates what's ahead for this next week, which I'm sure they will, don't take your foot off the gas. Finish this one strong. And that's going to carry over into spring. That's going to carry over into fall camp. And then it's going to carry over into probably a pretty crucial season, then 2026, which kicks off at Lambeau Field against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And they better not take their foot off the damn gas pedal. Season ain't done. And they better be fired up to get that axe back. They got embarrassed. They got pantsed by PJ Fleck.
I have not heard that in a while.
The Golden Gophers last year. It was embarrassing. They better have that film of Minnesota chopping down our goalposts on every TV on the entire complex all week long. They better go in there ready to absolutely stomp the life out of Minnesota. I think they will. I think it's going to be a shellacking, and it'll be beautiful. PJ Fleck sucks. Drake Lindsay sucks. Coy Parrish sucks. Their kicker sucks. Minnesota sucks. That's how it's going to be. They all suck, and the Badgers are going to dominate. Get this axe back. Let's end the season on a high note and celebrate what looks to be a team and a season dead in the water, resurrected with the best trophy in sports.
Riley, there's a lot of flowers we got to give, but there is one, we got to give our set of flowers as well to Owen Dimple, who has
been cooking back there.
He has been cooking left and right in this one, a 3-hour show. Thank you for the patience. Thank you for the fun.
And he filled in for me today, producing the pregame show. I sold him a couple times today. Unfortunately, it was, my communication was not great. But fantastic work today from Owen Dimple. He has been a man on a mission.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Save money and save the planet. Ditch the energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar, your local solar energy company based in Madison. Visit everlightsolar.com to learn more and make the switch today. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. We are also in the Everlight Solar studio for Owen Dimple, our producer, for Riley Yauk. 3 hours. But, man, it felt like we're just getting started. But we got to get to bed at some point. Riley will also be a part ofWisconsin volleyball. Their big senior day, setting off some big names. They're playing, I believe it's Iowa,
tomorrow,
right?
Yep,
it's Iowa. So you can hear that on 100.5 ESPN. Very excited for that matchup and what this Badger volleyball team can do, too. A lot of good vibes here in Madison. Hopefully you're enjoying your night. Enjoy it safely as well. Once again, for Owen Dimple behind the glass, for Riley Yauk here, I'm Pablo Iglesias. This has been ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Get some rest. Let's get after Minnesota next week. Peace.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
To those who've ever dreamt